The following may contain language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. The topics discussed may include drugs, alcohol, or be sexual in nature. This show is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. I'm serious. It's dirty. Really, really dirty. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage, sit back, and let's get this fucking show started.
Fantastic Forum, assemble. You listen to Fantastic Forum, the premier show about comic books, and your live weekly conversation about entertainment and pop culture. We are the Fantastic Forum, coming to you live and direct from Fantastic Forum Studios, Los Angeles. Hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, as the case may be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, you should stick with us. We'll have to take it up a notch. You have the usual suspects in the building. First, he is our riddle inside of an enigma trapped in Chinese finger cuffs. You don't know him, but you love him anyway. He's our silent assassin, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
Next, he is our intrepid senior reporter. He's next in line for the cowl. He's our resident Dark Knight detective. He's Oz. Oh, is Oz lagged? Oz? Oh, Oz?
He's still listening to the theme song.
He's still... Oz is all contemplative. There. Oz. Are you done lagging, Oz? You look like you're done lagging.
No, I'm not. I'm never done.
Never done. Stay laggy.
But I will enjoy this nectar of the gods.
Straight lagging. There it is. Next. He's the backbone, the pillar, the strength of Fantastic Forum, our nigh invulnerable brawler and resident strongman, Moses Magnum.
What's up?
And as for myself, my name is Lawrence Young. They call me Mayor Young. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. We got a great show for you today because we are going to be talking to you all about the animated fantasy adventure film Wolfwalkers. So we'll be talking about that a little bit later in the show. And of course, we got the latest in comic book news for you and whatever else it is that you all want to talk about. So we got all that happening. But before we do all that, we want to make sure that we thank Mr. Scott Rubin, who without him, this show would not have happened. So thanks, Scott. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well, man. And we want to go ahead and make sure that we tell you how it is that you can get down with Fantastic Forum. So here we go.
Want to get in on the action? Call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
FantasticForum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
Tell you, man. If she could just hit that tone all the time when she says FantasticForum.live, we'd probably double our listenership.
Is any of us in the Discord chat room right now?
I am not in the Discord chat room. Discord chat, come over to YouTube. if you're listening.
I can get on it, but the last time I was there, nothing was happening. So
last time you were there, they were like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" They're like, "Hey,
that would have been something."
So last time I was there, I was getting a bunch of mentions and stuff, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, I was like, "Who checks these?" Like, nobody does. I just hadn't logged in forever. I wasn't even getting notifications anymore.
In fact, the last time I was there was when I was still broadcasting us through the Discord.
You said you were still broadcasting the what in Discord, Oz?
Yeah, do you remember when I was broadcasting the show on Discord?
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
That's the last time I was on. So whenever we did that last is the last time I logged on to that.
Wow.
And you know what?
Yeah.
It's the all games Discord though. I don't think we have our own yet, do we?
No, we don't have our own. No, it's definitely all games Discord.
Discord is updating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was trying to do that, and then I started hearing you guys lag, and I'm like, oh, I'm fucking up. Fuck that.
Yeah.
For the show.
Downloading.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
shouldn't be
third
trying to
update.
download anything, man. I shouldn't be trying to download anything.
Well, our producer here told me to check Discord. So what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?
I just asked if we're on it. Any of us.
Yeah. So, it's all good. Oh, go ahead, Jay.
In chat, we got Tiger Claw. He says, "What's up, Fantastic Forum? What are your thoughts on episode 6 of WandaVision? What you thought of Quicksilver in this one?"
Look, you all know I got my own thoughts. What do you all think? Or wait, Jay, you haven't seen any of it yet, huh?
No, I was bored, so I watched it and caught up.
Okay. Look, I'm just saying the way you said that was like, I did it.
I don't think you watched it.
No, I did. Like, it was great.
That's look. Oh, okay. Now I get. No, that is Jay's excited voice. No, yeah, that is definitely it. I hear it now. At first, I was like, oh, is he
in Discord chat? Doomplague and Pace Station 5 now are having a discussion about the Cruella trailer, and the last thing said, Pace is calling Doomplague a fake ass Emma Stone fan.
I agree with that. Doomplague is in fact a fake ass Emma Stone fan. Everyone knows that about him.
I thought Doomplague was Amish.
He's that's what makes him a fake ass Emma Stone fan.
Did anyone watch the Cruella trailer yet?
I watched talking about it, and it looked great from that. So that's enough for me.
But I'm saying, like, so they didn't they already make a Cruella movie?
No.
Well, okay.
This is the one they were making.
Okay.
Maleficent.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know
They've
the
got
difference
two
between
Maleficents.
Yeah, I know the difference between Maleficent and Cruella.
You're mistaking the live action Dalmatians movies.
You probably
Cruella
right.
movie. Because, Glenn Close,
yeah,
steals
the show.
Yeah, it's her movie.
All about that movie.
It's like poor Jeff
Right.
Daniels is fuck.
What's Jeff Daniels do? Is he one of the dogs?
He's the main dude in the movie.
Oh, I don't remember him.
Yeah. Well, it's about
the one that gets the one Dalmatian pregnant.
Yeah.
It's like I remember dogs and Cruella, and that's it. So yeah, that's okay. So did you see Cruella, or do you all watch the trailer? I mean, I know you said you didn't, Mo. You just watched somebody else talk about it. Did you see it, Trey?
Not yet. Like,
okay.
There was so much going on that I didn't get around to it.
Okay.
The trailer for Infinity Train Book 4 dropped.
Oh, really?
I have to watch that on repeat.
Yeah.
Same here. She's like, He's like, play.
It was almost like he was on an Infinity Train himself.
I'm not mad at you because they had the first Nintendo Direct they had in a while, and like the first full length one, I should say, because they had like mini ones throughout the pandemic, but the first full length one, and the last thing they introduced was Splatoon 3, and I was looking at that trailer and I was like, oh man, I want to see it again, but I didn't watch it because I had to prepare for today for this show. This is what's important. Like, I'm like, we're not going to talk about Splatoon 3 on Fantastic Forum, but now we are. So I guess I should have watched it one more time.
Well, yeah. I had a full new.
Wait, what'd you say? Wait, Oz, what are you saying?
I get to watch
Listen, Disney does not want you talking mess about whatever trash you're about to say about this. Disney said they cut you off. They're like, slow down his internet speed. They were like, oh, Oz about to talk about Cruella trailer. What's his hate index? They're like, what? 97? Nah. Slow him down. Dial his internet down.
His social score.
Right. His clout. What's his hate clout? Oh, 235. Nah. It's like, give him the BFE internet rate. Oh, he's gone. No.
But actually, you didn't get to your answer. What did you think of episode 6?
I liked it a lot. Like, there was a lot to unpack, and that's what Oh, dude, everybody did. Like, who's out here like at this point not liking WandaVision? Like, there was a point where you could forgive people because it's like, okay, it's a little different. It's like, those first 3 episodes maybe don't hit the same way with everybody, but at this point, it's like, if you're like not enjoying what you're watching, then that's on you, man. Like, something's wrong with you. Like, what, that's all there is to it. It's like, huh?
The show itself is fine.
Go ahead,
Oz.
Oz.
We're gonna do it all day.
No, go ahead, Oz. No, we're not. Go ahead, Oz. You got a good connection. Talk now. Hurry.
The show itself is fine, but not enough Mew for my taste. Like, I want the X-Files style show with whoever the Asian guy is and Kat Dennings.
Wait, how did you just like mess around? And first of all, the Asian man, Agent Wu, has a name. That's number 1.
And he had the whole agency.
But then 2,
what's the
what's
the actor's name? Because I said Kat Dennings, not Darcy.
Like, I don't know the actor's name.
Well, how do you expect me to know it if you don't know it? You're the one fapping to him every day.
Know the character's name. And then what I'm trying to figure out is how you get the X-Files show with, Darcy and Wu, and then you just pushed out Monica Rambeau like off to the side
because she's gonna be Photon up in the clouds somewhere.
They're not gonna call her Photon.
They called her mother Photon already.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, I'll say this: they might let the mom be Photon, but I'm thinking that she's gonna be Spectrum. Like, Spectrum is the more.
Oh, I had a weird interaction on Instagram with somebody that's young, and
that's where I heard the children's are.
Before the FBI crashes through my door, some guy was complaining that he's in his 20s, but he was complaining that this last episode of WandaVision was a ripoff of Malcolm in the Middle. Like, that was his gripe with this episode, and it's like
he doesn't understand what they're doing.
He apparently he didn't realize that they were doing sitcom motifs because all the sitcoms they did prior to this, he's never seen them. Yeah, and it's like, but I don't know. It's
no, I mean, like, that's the kind of thing where you're just like, okay, well, hey, like,
I got to give props to Disney for taking that risk. I didn't realize it was that much of a risk, but I guess it is, because he could have just bailed out after the second episode.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, if you got problems with WandaVision, it's your issue at this point. You're like, oh, it rips off Malcolm in the Middle too much. It's an homage to sitcoms throughout generations. Like, because you're such a big Malcolm in the Middle fan, you should be happy that they chose that sitcom. But it's okay.
I wanted them to do Men Behaving Badly.
Not you, him.
No, I know, but I wanted
to tell him that was the point.
No, I let him be stupid.
Yeah, dude, I agree.
I'm not gonna he's a grown ass man. If nobody showed him Honeymooners or fucking Dick Van Dyke, like, he was raised wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought all Americans were raised by the TV. Yeah, with the movie and whatnot.
Apparently, house expressions. I realized my connection went to hell because I stopped Discord up.
Oh, see, there it is.
Yeah.
It was trying to get you. But yeah, and I thought it was interesting.
Repeat what Oz. Oh, sorry, man. What to repeat what Oz was saying, it's like it was just coming. But yeah, you were saying, Larry, you like what they're doing with Quicksilver?
Yeah, and I think it's interesting. Like I don't think that's gonna be like, I don't think it's gonna be a permanent thing. But we'll see. We'll see how it all turns out.
Who's the space person or whoever Rambo is texting? I can tell you right now, it's not Mr. Fantastic. I know people keep saying that it's not Mr. Fantastic.
I don't even understand the whole Fantastic Four connection thing at
because
this point.
he's an astrophysicist and has to do with space, and that's where the Fantastic Four get their powers, is in space. So ergo, look, I saw videos where people were saying that not only is the villain Mephisto, but it's Nightmare, because they said the word nightmare twice in the last episode.
Well, it could just be that station of scrolls with Nick Fury up there. Like
that could just be Wanda's a crazy bitch. Could just be her.
No, right? I'm talking about the guy in space that she's texting.
Oh,
like it could just be Nick Fury, because we know he's in space already, in a space station that deals with space threats and threats, and he already has to deal with these heroes before. So it's like this is happening, and he's up there. He might be interested in this.
That's
true.
Know? That's true.
The one thing is they kind of changed Sword.
Oh, not kinda, definitely.
And that's the one part I don't like. But otherwise, I thought it was really good.
At least they gave you some form of semblance of an explanation as to why they changed it, though. Because, people disappeared in space and then came back and died. So they're kind of grounded. But at least, they didn't do that with S.H.I.E.L.D. at all.
They didn't do what with S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Like, they changed it up, but they didn't explain why they changed it up. They just changed the name.
Tiger Claw says, I think the Hex is going to create mutants. If it's changing the cells in a human body, it's possible it will cause the X gene that causes mutants.
It wouldn't cause the X gene. It would activate it.
Yeah.
The X gene would already be there. And that's what they're thinking Monica Rambeau is going through. Like it's activating her X gene or whatever. I don't know. It's all nonsense. I don't know how he got Jonah Hex involved in this, but that's one more theory added to the pile.
There it is.
Well, everybody's trying to buy DC.
Right. I guess we should go ahead and get to some news.
Yeah, that was a good way, huh?
Yeah, I like it.
Woo! Comic book news.
We should have a
comic book
like Kurt. Well, not like that, but like.
What is Chunk Chunk?
Are you guys caught up with the Resident Alien yet?
I mean,
it's only 2 episodes, right?
3. Well, 4 now.
Yeah, there's one that will come on tonight, but
I'm caught up on Batwoman.
Oh, you son of a bitch! I don't even like the way he says it.
That's my fault.
I don't like the way he says it. Like he says it, like I know he's joking to a degree, but he's not joking enough. There's a part of him that's like, no, I should be watching that. You should.
No, it's pretty good. Like I don't like the new suit and wig, but it's good. It's a good show. You guys should give it a chance.
Okay.
Well, you're probably gonna like North Force. I don't know if you know what North Force is, but you're gonna like it. And it's essentially Savage Dragon's Alpha Flight, and one of the recent issues, like 259, I think, was there's the cover right there. It sold a lot, and they reprinted it now with bios and stuff for each character. And I know you tend to like those like Freak Force and all those.
Oh yeah, Freak Force was my jam.
You're probably gonna enjoy that too. I keep replaying it because that's it. For some reason it's a lot shorter on the stream than it is the actual thing I did. So, there's no loop option.
Gotcha.
StreamYard, get on it.
Got it. That's funny. Yeah, that's interesting. Like I'm trying to figure out like I haven't unfortunately been keeping up with Savage Dragon, so I'm like, how did he end up in Canada? Or because he's not Canadian.
No,
So-
but it's another team that he created because I this is just supposition, just seeing how Eric Larson was politically all through 2020, and when he actually posted about writing those issues in the 250s a lot, and they wanted him to ignore politics because he's already is expressing himself there, and he's like, well, no, like to me, Savage Dragon is a reflection of real world, and the characters grow. I think now it's not even Malcolm. I think it's the grandson now. Yeah. So it grows in real time, which is one of the great things about Savage Dragon. And I guess one of the things is like he was getting ready to move to Canada in case Trump won the presidency. So and he met those guys. That's what I'm assuming. Yeah. But because that issue sold out, and this is a reprint because people like it, and it was a good story. But yeah, I think they deal with the pandemic and stuff too in it. Like it's in real time almost. So.
Wow.
Only one way to find out. Issue comes out in May 5th, 2021.
I haven't caught up. Like, I'm behind on Savage Dragon also, but I know his girlfriend shaves. Because that came up on Twitter.
Like, she's like hairy or what?
Well, she shaves, so she's not hairy.
But I mean, okay. All right.
He likes to go for a younger look, Larry.
I realize that Mo's bringing it up, especially because it comes out on May the 5th. So he's kind of hoping for some birthday presents.
No, that was honestly just a happy coincidence. I just wanted to test out this way of doing news with these graphics. So I was stuck outside the vet today because the dogs were at their doctor's appointments, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do some pre-production while I'm waiting here in the car. So, yeah.
That's how vets work now. What did you all think of the Zack Snyder's Justice League trailer that dropped a couple of days ago? Like that was on Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah.
Was it out?
Yeah, it was Valentine's Day at midnight.
It's perfect.
I watched the trailer, and I will be hard pressed to tell you anything about it. Like the Joker's in it or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean,
Granny Goodness is in it. Desaad's in it.
Where was Desaad?
Next to
Granny Goodness. Well, next to on the other side of Dark.
They were like,
that's who that was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Who else wears a hoodie like that?
The guy from the Black Order.
I whatchamacallit, I didn't realize, I didn't recognize him.
Well, yeah, because usually he looks a little different.
Yeah.
Here he looks like he's posing for Playgirl.
I'll give Granny, like the Granny Goodness looks like Granny Goodness, at least from the quick shot we saw. And Darkseid, I can say, is at least recognizable. Like, I personally don't think it's a great Darkseid design, but if I saw it, I don't know that I would look at that and be like, who is it? I would be like, I think that's Darkseid.
Well, the sensation I got when I saw this is like, why do they hate Kirby? Because that's kind of like a Kirbyism thing, not just the Kirby hands, but you got the brow, the nose, like that's where you differentiate his characters. You got your Ben Grimm, your Darkseid. Like there's certain things in the face that's what makes them them. The pose, like not one pose of Kirby Darkseid at all with the hands behind his back. Like it's so
Mhm.
iconic. Like they show him
Mhm.
doing shit, and it's like, oh, that's great. Nah, man, Kirby made him look like a universal threat just by standing looking outside a window. And
Mhm.
Syder couldn't do that in slow motion.
I mean, it is really interesting because like the introduction of Thanos at the end of Avengers is much more of a dark side kind of thing that
Yeah.
happened there than a Thanos thing. It works for
Yeah.
Thanos too, obviously, because
Yeah.
Thanos is a dark side
Analog.
and inspired by dark side anyway. But that is like that scene from Dark Side, even that version of Dark Side would have been amazing. And I can understand maybe they're like, well, we can't do that now because Thanos did it. He took our shtick. But that would have gone a long way with me. Or just like you said, like him standing in that like classic pose with his arms behind his back. That would have been really cool.
Like just going down the tank, like they do those little mecha things that they show the tank from. All these scenes are from the Knightmare anyway.
Yeah,
like,
I think you're right.
And not like movie plot points, so they don't even really matter.
You might be right.
They're just 2 hours of a movie that like has no bearing on the plot.
For all we know, for all we know, all the rest of the stuff that we see, like the stuff that's like the real world stuff, that's all the dream, and the nightmare is the reality. Who knows?
Knightmare.
Well, originally the nightmare was supposed to be like that's what actually ends up happening, and then Barry Allen travels back in time, and it was supposed to be three. His whole plan was three movies, so and now it's not just the original Snyder cut. Now he's trying to cram in the extra stuff as much as that original story as he can in there.
Yeah,
because he's not going to get any more. That's the whole reason the Joker is in there. He wanted to do a movie with Batfleck and that Joker, and he's not going to get a chance, so he put him in this one.
And so now, go ahead.
That's one of the weird things too, because I was thinking as I was watching this, like he pulled off something that rarely gets to happen, and it's art is essentially never finished. You just abandon it, and he gets to go back because initially he was hindered by run times for theaters and rating systems and budgeting for special effects. And then everything went down how it went down, and Joss Whedon took over, and then we got crappier special effects even more because he had to make it work, he had to piece it together from what they didn't approve of what he did. So now he gets a chance to go back and give his vision, whether we like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets to work off of the stuff that he already experienced and saw. He has every opportunity to give us a great movie.
Right, he knows all the mess ups,
but that's the thing. It's like how much of those mess ups were what he wanted from the beginning too, But we won't know till we see it, and I think this sets a precedent for, maybe we will get another go around at certain things.
So?
Yeah, we'll get a different cut because even like. My good friend Dave Johnson, who co-creator of Red Sun, was talking about that he wishes he could go back to Red Sun and change some things art-wise. And I mean, you look at that book and it's like everything looks great. He looks at it and there's places he says where he cringes. So It's like it's interesting to see what he would do, especially seeing how so many people have used his influence when they do otherworldly things and designs, even here in that Knightmare Batman design is like a Red Sun Batman design,
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's interesting to see that he feels like that, even though how iconic some of his designs were. I want to see what he would probably change.
Yeah,
and so that's. Go ahead.
I want Raimi cut Spider-Man 3.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, the way he wanted it done without Venom.
All this mess because of a razor blade.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, because Superman's mustache is what I meant.
No, God.
That's what I meant.
Oh, God.
Tiger
Please.
Claw Chat says, if Zack Snyder's Justice League proves to be a success, could this open the door for another Justice League, but one made exclusively for HBO Max?
No.
I don't think so. I think look, they're hemorrhaging money.
Oh, yeah.
So it's it costs more to make this one than it did the original one.
Yeah.
Even with the paying Joss Whedon's salary. So
yeah,
that's why he's making a 4-hour epic with everything he wanted to do, which he might say it might be a failure. He might say the real Snyder cut, the trilogy. I want to see the trilogy. You know.
Oh my God. What?
Mello Bueno says, just give it to Michael Bay and call it a day.
There it is.
No. We're trying to move forward. We're trying to good thing.
Also, too, of course, the trailer ends with the Joker reveal. And I know people are making a big deal about him saying that line at the end because I guess it's a part of a meme. I have no knowledge of this. Do any of you know this meme?
No.
What was even the line? That line was so not memorable to me.
I thought it was. Whoa.
Sorry, it's my cats trying to attack each other, Brad. I didn't even know there were more than one in here.
They're mating.
Yeah, continue.
I thought originally, I thought it was Heath Ledger's Joker when he's talking to Two-Face in the hospital. He talks about how a bus gets bombed and nobody cares, but this happens. And I think he starts off with "We live in a society," and then I think Joaquin Phoenix did it too, when he's talking about how society treats the mentally ill. And I think it just went from there. I honestly did not I've seen kind of memes, but never really paid that much attention. Where I know there's people who, because I've watched some reaction videos where people are going crazy when he says that, to the point that they have to rewind it because they didn't hear anything else in that speech. And I'm like, calm down. It's not that great.
I'm not up until Mo sent that story. I wasn't even aware of the fact that this was a thing that happens. But yeah, apparently people have been associating the Joker with that line for a little while now, but he's never actually said it. And that's why
bullshit if us, the comic book experts, the panel, the watchers, the monitors, the Metatrons of comic lore, and it's something that Alan Moore wrote and we don't know.
No, that's crazy talk. It's not. It's the Joker's never said it, and that's why it's a big deal here, because it's the first time the Joker said it. He's never said it before, and people were for whatever reason, they had that line and the Joker's face, and they connected it together. And apparently, there was a Change.org petition when Joaquin Phoenix got cast, and they were making that Joker movie, and they were like, "You got to have him say it." And of course, it makes sense that a guy like Zack Snyder would be like, "Oh, I'm having him say it." It's like
when the Juggernaut said, they're equating that great ass moment with X-Men 3.
Right.
the crappiest X-Men movie.
Right. And it was bad in X-Men when he did that, which, at least we got that reference, but it was still if any Juggernaut is going to say that, it should have been that particular Juggernaut, because that Juggernaut's terrible. But it's just it doesn't make any sense. MCU is at some point probably will introduce the Juggernaut, and I guarantee you he'll never say, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Depends if it's on Disney Plus or not.
No, I don't know.
So, I get what I'm reading here is that the meme started from a Seinfeld episode.
Yeah, George does say that. George Costanza. He says something like it, close. He's like, we live
we're living in a society. You're supposed
we're
to
living
be civilized or something.
Yeah, which it's a classic episode of Seinfeld. I love that episode.
It's the Chinese restaurant episode.
Yeah, it's so good.
And after that, like this whole article was basically like they don't really know how it gets attributed to the Joker. It just does.
Because the internet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
The
Like
same
internet.
people that think WandaVision ripped off Malcolm in the Middle.
There's I've seen a picture of Heath Ledger's Joker. It says we live in a society on the top, and then just bottom text on the bottom.
Yeah.
Big Man CJS in Twitch chat says just having Zack Snyder on the front of it, on the front of that is a pass for me. So he's out. Heck in chat says as long as Darkseid doesn't look like Apocalypse, it'll be a solid 5 out of 10.
As long as Darkseid doesn't look like Apocalypse, but he kind of does, right?
But not the movie Apocalypse. The movie Apocalypse looks yeah, that guy looks like the dude from that the Power Rangers movie.
Yeah, he does. He does. Nah, that sucks. It sucks. All these these villains that should have these amazing moments that just they look terrible, and they just I don't know. I mean, maybe Darkseid will have the gravitas in this Snyder cut. Zack Snyder, but I don't know. Like, have we heard his voice yet?
I think they're gonna pull it off like as good as Zack Snyder can, but not. I don't think it'll be the great. I'm hesitant to say it'll be great, but I think he'll be able to do it because he's been listening to everybody's complaints. He's been listening to our complaints. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean he gets a lot of praise, but really he gets a lot of complaints too. And I don't like people talking shit about Zack Snyder because the dude knows how to make a good looking movie. Like he does. The lighting, the design, even I don't like the color theory he uses for his superhero movies, but that's because they're superhero movies and there's a certain amount of color. Like color doesn't have to. It's utilitarian in a sense. Like the yellow belt on Superman is so that it breaks up. The same reason why I use a cheap 99-cent store red foam on my $200-something mic because if I use the black one, it just disappears.
All fades in, right.
So I use the red one to break it up a little bit, and it's not broken. My neurosis tells me it's not broken up enough. I got to put an LED shining a light in here or something. Anyway, that's beside the point. But and that's what I don't like about his superhero movies. I think with the right, I think he gets a bad rap as a filmmaker. But
no, I mean I agree with you on that.
His superhero movies are bad.
Yeah, I think I mean if he could get somebody with a solid script, a solid script by itself would help a lot because I don't feel like he's gotten a lot of solid scripts when it comes to the superhero stuff that he's done. But just someone that has even if you could get that along with somebody that has understanding for these characters, that it's like I don't feel like his style of movie making is the problem. It's just that he's making movies that aren't great.
No,
on top on top of all the other stuff that's going wrong with it.
His movie style is fine. It's just a little slow.
But he speeds it up to overcompensate and add add fucking motion and shit. Like you look at that one big fight in 300 where Leonidas was just mowing down dudes and it slows down, speeds up, slows down. It creates this fucking impact. Like even when he kicks the dude into the pit, looks fucking amazing. It looks like a comic book brought to page because guess what? The colors in the movie and the colors on the book are not that far off.
That's true.
Like he even colored the underwear the same color as the penis. So it looks like it's the same thing.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I wish the capes were a little brighter, but what are we gonna do? It's not Superman's cape; it's just every Spartan's cape. There's no thing.
So, moving along from Snyder's Justice League, we mentioned Joss Whedon earlier.
Yeah.
And man, have the floodgates opened on this dude.
What happened to him? People now.
Sent on a few items to continue.
My phone, I said Joss Whedon, and my phone started talking.
Yeah,
Sorry.
they know that AI. I'm telling you, you gotta watch out for that AI.
It's like,
That AI.
you be quiet, phone. No one asked you.
The problem is it's too quiet. It's listening.
So, as we know, Joss Whedon had a number of allegations leveled against him from Ray Fisher in regards to his treatment during the Justice League film.
And you didn't believe him.
Well, I can't say I didn't believe him because he never said anything that was done. It's like, all he did was say that Joss Whedon didn't treat him right, but he never said what he did. So I can't say whether there was no actual allegation made. And that was my whole problem with the whole thing, where it's like, you handle something either privately or publicly. You don't do in between. And so I'm just like, my guy, like, if it's being handled internally, then be quiet about it and let it get handled internally. If it's being handled, if you're going to handle it in public, then tell us what he did so we can be like, wait, what?
But he can't.
Why can't he?
He's under NDA.
By who? What NDA? No one's mentioned any NDA.
NDA.
What do you
We've
say?
had this discussion. He an NDA with Warner Brothers, so he can't say publicly. He could talk to the investigator. Even new allegations, the people backing up like Trachtenberg, she's under NDA. Can't say exactly what happened. All she could say is, look, there was a rule that Joss Whedon was not allowed to be alone with me because I was underage.
No, but that's a different. No, listen. What I'll say is this: look, you're not going to convince me that the cast of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel are under NDAs that are enforceable forever. Like, I'm sure there's a certain amount of time, but the fact is, it's like, why is it that, like, and this is basically the story where, because of what is ended up happening to Ray Fisher with him getting removed from the Flash movie, that inspired one of the past cast members from Buffy and Angel, is it Charisma Carpenter, right?
Yeah.
To speak out about her time with Joss Whedon during those shows. And she basically said that he created a toxic work environment and was abusive to her, mainly in regards to her getting pregnant and, low key trying to pressure her to maybe not have that kid and mistreating her during the course of her pregnancy, and she felt like it impacted her.
I got the impression that it was more than that, and that was just the example that she gave.
Well, that might be so.
Here's the thing.
But
I think from that allegation, I think they.
What? Why would you say that?
Because what other reason would he have to ask if she's keeping it, other than him not wanting to have a kid with her?
Well, no, because if she gets fat,
he doesn't want
her to get fat on the show.
Yeah, he doesn't want to have to like shoot the character different because they're pregnant.
Why you guys gotta make sense all the time?
I know
that would be wild, though.
Me and Lawrence just agreed on something.
Yeah,
you know it's true.
Hey, man, and
I agree.
Eddie, look, he's frozen with shock.
That's gonna be the thumbnail of this episode, right there. 44:31. Let me make a time.
There it is, Bo. There it is. He's got you. That's hilarious. But yeah, I mean, no, that was the main thing behind it. But but here's the thing. I hear what you're saying, where you're like, well, they're not being super specific, and I agree with you. Like, they probably could be more specific, but that's enough. And that's the thing. In the same way, how home chick that played Buffy's sister was like, hey, all I'm going to say is he wasn't allowed to be in a room with me by himself. And it's like, we can draw the inference from that in regards to what that means. And that's enough as far as the accusation goes. Because it's like, don't just be like, oh man, he's a terrible person. And it's like, well, why? It's like, well, I can't say. It's like, that's ridiculous, especially in 2021. Like, you know,
I think Larry believes charisma Carpenter because he's a white woman.
Versus Ray Fisher because he's a black man?
Yeah.
I think he believes Charisma Carpenter because, well, she's white, and then she had other women back her up. So you get 3 or 4 women to Lawrence, that's a whole person.
Oh, see.
Not only that, he always hated Cyborg.
Wow.
He was never a Cyborg fan, and he
because Cyborg's black. Like, he hated the white part of him, but the other stuff is like,
what are we even talking about right now? First of all, I have no problem with Cyborg. I have no issues with the character.
You were mad that he was in the Justice League.
Well, because Cyborg doesn't belong in the Justice League.
See?
It has nothing to do with his color.
Yeah.
Where does he belong, Larry? Where does
On the
he
Teen
belong?
Titans or on the Titans.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something really racist.
On the B League. Got
No,
it.
I'm just like, no, I mean, look, the Titans is a good team. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the Titans. It's the same way how you mess around and you're like, some mutants belong on X Factor. They don't belong on the X-Men. You know what I mean? It's like,
I don't believe I've ever said that.
I'm not saying you have. I'm just saying that, you know, there's nothing wrong with that team. Like, it's like, if you wanted a black character on the Justice League, there are plenty of other black characters that DC has that should have been on the Justice League. Like,
Right. You would be happy with Martian Manhunter, right?
no. Martian Manhunter's not a black person. Martian Manhunter's an
Oh,
alien.
I see. He doesn't count as black. Got it.
Right, because he's an alien.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, that's not why he shouldn't count.
He shouldn't count as black because he's an alien?
I think Jay's going to point out he's green.
African American alien?
He's green.
Yeah,
That's why he's not black.
Oh, you're saying he could have been a black person, like a black skinned alien?
No, I'm saying his black form is an illusion. He's actually green.
Although,
That's why
He's
he's
an
a black person on the Justice League.
although his people were maltreated by the white version of their species.
Right.
I mean, listen, black people don't have the monopoly on oppression.
Look, we're reviewing a movie about white on white oppression.
Oh Lord, I tell you. But what I will say,
it's
yeah, right. But what I will say is like, no, man. I mean, look, all Ray Fisher had to do was let people know a little bit what it is that he was talking about, and it's like he would do it for whatever reason. And it's like, you know, and then you have Momoa and friggin' Godot out there, like having to put themselves out there a little bit just to kind of back him up. And it's kind of like, dude, like, why is everybody talking mess about Joss Whedon, but they won't just say what he did or didn't do? Like, you know, like, put it out there.
It's almost like they were contractually obligated to not say anything.
Then why even say anything at all? Then why not just let the internal investigations go?
What's weird is the Gal Gadot situation was handled real quick and easy, while Ray Fisher's wasn't, and that makes me feel uneasy about the whole thing too. You know?
Well, even at that point, Gal Gadot was already a bigger star than Ray Fisher.
Oh yeah.
No, but it's like
let's be real. Everybody's a bigger star than Ray Fisher, right?
But it's about the work environment. It's about the work environment and your corporate liability.
No, in that situation, is about who's going to make you the most money.
We don't know what the situation is.
Gal Gadot, in any conflict when making this movie, Gal Gadot is going to make you a whole lot more money than Ray Fisher is.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to get a lot more, whatever the hell she wants.
Mm-hmm. Look, I agree with Oz again.
Stop it. We're gonna look. This whole show is not gonna work anymore if you agree with me.
Hey, man, listen. You should make sense more often.
It's because his internet is shitty. Anyway.
I was like, when they hear me, I have to say something worthwhile, or else.
You know what? Lawrence is agreeing with me so much. I think I think that there is estrogen in this thing.
Oh,
well, you are drinking cider, right? That's for good.
Yeah. What's a cherry cider? Oh no, I'm growing a cherry.
Cherry, yeah. We're gonna pop that.
It's red and delicious, like Aphrodite's. And we're trying to get monetized. I can't see.
That's too late. Next story.
So, this rumor's floating around about this DC buyout from a number of wealthy fans. This is all rumor at this point, but I'm pretty sure Bleeding Cool is the main one reporting this, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
No, it's the Luminaries.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Look,
Bleeding Cool is just repeating it. But the original story came from Luminaries.
Oh, hey,
and they're even saying that it's been confirmed by like Liefeld and a couple other names, but I don't trust those people either. I don't trust anything Liefeld says. He lied to us straight to our face.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in his name.
Jay should that's hilarious too. Jay, you should put forth those allegations public. You should just go out and on Twitter and just be like, Rob Liefeld abused his power in such a terrible way.
Do we have that tape? Don't tell me that's lost in that laptop.
It's lost. It's lost in that. Yeah.
Dang, that's how he can just be out here with such impunity. That Liefeld.
Well, I think Larry was in collusion with him.
Oh, dang! I was the one that was trying to help Liefeld.
It was your computer.
Damn.
Tiger Claw in chat says, "Fantastic Forum should buy DC. Imagine what you can do with all its properties."
Look, we almost did because one of the people that were approached to buy and offered was IDW, which I serve on some board as a shareholder.
So. That sounds a little flimsy.
Well, it's the board of sanitation in the offices because that's how many shares I have. But
got it.
But I get to vote on these decisions.
Got it.
But they passed on it without asking me.
Imagine what would have happened if we hadn't stopped Mo from getting Jim Lee arrested.
Oh, jeez.
Now, I will say, we not too long ago talked about what we would do if we were in charge of DC.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not 100% sure if, we all have very different ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you could mesh those ideas into a working company.
Oh, absolutely.
It would be hard. And a lot of us are very stubborn.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of it. Because we can all kind of compromise on the main DC universe. I'll take Vertigo. Oz takes, editor of Gotham books. Larry does, all the... I don't know. We'll have it organized.
It fell apart. I'll be the head of the board of sanitation.
Joe does all the minority books.
Dang, wait, what? Why is Jay getting pigeonholed into minority books? He have ideas on other stuff.
He likes Shiva. He likes Birds of Prey. He likes that's what I meant by minority book. Those smaller selling books, Seven. Look, why you always got to think about that?
We'll put Lawrence in charge of the gay romance novels.
Yeah.
Although the DC's
the
YA
books.
DCYA.
I just saw a fantastic Yowie picture on Pinterest of Mordecai and Rigby. It was amazing.
Did you see the Nightwing video I sent you guys?
I didn't see a video. I saw.
I did not.
Oh, y'all didn't watch the video?
It's a Nightwing Valentine.
You should play it right here on stream. You have that technology.
I would have sent it earlier, but every time I was getting sent, it would just hit replay for some reason. I don't get it. And okay, just to do this story justice, because people are thinking by DC, that's crazy. That's not going to happen. It's not just DC. It's really just the comic print rights. Like they Warner's or AT&T or whoever would still have their own movie rights and all the TV shows and all
Merchandise.
that. Yeah,
Everything that makes it valuable.
Yeah, it's just the print side of it, which is the side that we've had stories where AT&T like might want to get rid of it
Right.
altogether. So it seems plausible if you look at it that way. It's not all of DC, it's just the print.
I mean, I would love
the rumors. I know this is still in the rumor stage, but have there been any numbers floating around?
The number floating around is somewhere between 300 million to 500 million.
Right. The
you
story
tell me
says
IDW couldn't sell out some of that.
I don't think IDW has that kind of money.
They could get low. They got 12 million on the fucking PPE.
The story cites 20 investors, each with access to double-digit millions.
Yeah.
So even at just 10 each, that's still 200 million. IDW ain't got it 200 million.
So mad at IDW.
Now, if you get Reddit,
it up. I gotta go in there and rattle some cages. What the fuck are you guys do? You secure that loan, man. Like, go to a cartel and borrow the money or something. But you get that shit. Like,
you go to Reddit, have them pump up the stocks.
But that's the thing. They can't because nobody is. Here's the thing. The time to do that was when the stock was at like $30 or whatever before the pandemic. Now, all the people that were banking on it failing made millions.
Are you talking DC?
IDW.
Oh, IDW, gotcha.
Yeah, so Reddit, there's nothing that like the hedge fund people and those people that short sell would gain from, like, unless it totally just collapses, which is not what I want from a comic book company. So that's yeah, and even still, like, that value isn't real value. Like, it's just illusion,
manufactured.
Yeah, and you could lose it like when you wake up the next day.
If anything, these investors could like take IDW as part of a bundle.
Well, and that's the thing. Like,
it's wrong, but it looks like IDW is worth about 23 million.
Yeah, that don't even pay for the paper.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a smaller company, but they could do, they could merge with Valiant and double that value. Well, with Valiant it'll be like 24 million.
I'm so mad at you for saying that. That's not right, man.
Or
they could.
Valiant work hard.
Yeah.
They could contact these
they need to work hard.
They could contact these investors and be like, I got 5 on it.
Honestly, for real, like, you go with these investors and create IDW Publishing Group, instead of another, because they have. Here's the thing: IDW has like 6 different subsidiaries.
Yeah.
And it's like you can add a separate subsidiary because you're gonna have to do that anyway for the DC stuff, because you gotta, since you can't have everything they have, for paperwork purposes that needs to be separate. And you could do a partnership with, you get your Dynamite, your Boom, your Dark Horse. You get four of these smaller companies that have a little bit of clout in the eyes of comic fans, and it's like, we put out the DC books together, we sell our own shit.
The messed up part of the whole thing is these folks are going to end up spending a pretty penny to get those publishing rights if they want them, because they're like, DC's sales are up.
Yeah, this Future State's been doing way better than they expected, and they got Infinite Frontier coming just a couple months.
And that's the messed up part. Like, the pandemic has actually, like, I guess I won't say that it's not just the pandemic, but between some of the moves that they've made, firing a whole bunch of people, one, and then the sales actually going up out of Future State, it's like the publishing arm of DC is doing way better than it was even just this time last year. So, or I'm sorry, not this time last year, but this time in 2019. That's what I should say.
These future state books have been way better than people expected.
And that's the thing. That's what's helping the sales. They're actually putting out a better content. Like if Convergence was like this with the amount of books they had in that, like they'd be killing it. But it's just they're not hungry now. They're a little. Hungry.
Yeah, they're definitely hungry now.
Yeah. But
yeah, I mean, it's more I think part of it is quality control too, though, because keeping in mind that the amount of books they're putting out right now versus Convergence or New 52 or any of that stuff is like it's way less books. So that's a big part of it, I think, too. So yeah,
IDW.
and yet they're still canceling TV shows.
That's another news story. They canceled the was it the
Wonder Girl show?
Yeah, Wonder Girl.
Yeah, so they just it's not as much canceled as it is they just passed on it, right? Like they made
made a pilot and everything, and they just passed. They didn't want to.
Which happens all the time. It's just
right.
It happened to Wonder Woman.
It did happen to Wonder Woman.
It's weird because that book is so good and it's selling well that it would seem like a good idea to at least order 13 episodes. And
you have like a woman of color lead, right?
Wait, which Wonder Girl?
Yara Flor.
Yeah.
It's a new Wonder Woman, but she's Wonder Woman in future state. She's coming out with her own book as Wonder Girl.
Okay.
And I mean, you read that Wonder Woman book. It was good.
Yeah, real good.
I actually wanted to not like it, and I ended up liking it because it was well done.
Yeah.
I mean, if there was a Wonder Girl TV show, though, I think I would rather one of the more classic Wonder Girls.
But look, that sells even less than whatever DC. They're like, they don't want that. They thought they passed on this because this would sell less. Like the one, I get you, Joe. Like you want to see that, and I would too. But this was a synergist move right here, getting that show along with Future State. They so rarely capture that little bit of lightning in the bottle, and perfect for cross promotion and everything. And it seemed order 6 episodes.
They still managed to fumble the play.
Yeah, exactly.
like perfect pass.
Yeah,
it's like the ball landed right in his hand. For some reason he was just like,
It's also weird that they passed on Wonder Girl.
It was like the Chiefs at the Super Bowl. Like they just did that. That's how DC did Yara Flor. And I don't even watch sports, but I think that's an accurate description.
It's weird that they passed on Yara Flor because she's big right now.
Yeah, that's what most of them.
But they went ahead and ordered episodes of Naomi, which as far as I know, isn't as popular.
It wasn't as popular, didn't sell as much, and they got rid of the guy that did it.
But I think Naomi's a Berlanti production, so that might be it.
Oh,
Naomi is awesome. If they do that show right, it's gonna be really good.
Lawrence doesn't know Naomi.
No, I know the character, but I was literally just about to ask, like, what does Naomi do? Like, what? I don't know anything about her power set.
She's like Captain Marvel, MCU Captain Marvel, except she's also like Shazam, where she's normal and she has to like activate her powers.
So like the original MCU Captain Marvel.
Yeah, she has like invulnerability and like shoots light and it's stuff.
I mean, she's more like Superman, but yeah.
Yeah.
How does she activate her powers?
Joe,
does she hit like 2 bands in her hand like that?
No. Basically, her powers just started developing. So in her book, yeah, she's basically trying to find out where she came from, and her powers start developing as she's figuring out that she comes from another dimension. And was put on Earth to protect her from the person that rules her dimension. And so it's her powers start to come into her powers start developing, and she ends up going and fighting that guy, and then coming back and helping Young Justice.
Yeah, and her power set is energy projection, flight, superhuman strength, and durability.
Okay. Interesting.
I can see how that could be an interesting show. If they do it right.
Well, hey, that's always the caveat, right?
Berlanti is going to make it so that her radiation, because her particles are vibrating at a different frequency, make all her office mates have powers too.
The Berlanti special.
Yeah, it's like she's going to work in a cubicle, and everybody in the adjacent cubicle is going to develop powers too.
I love it.
I gotta read more Naomi. Books.
She's
I
a
heard
kid.
the-
She doesn't work in the office yet.
She'll be
her team will
interning.
work in the office.
Like, yeah, she'll be interning. Like, Berlanti will find a reason to give her a desk job. That's what Berlanti does. Like, he loves giving people desk jobs.
But he didn't do that with Stargirl, did he?
Well, it's a school. Like,
She didn't like.
Well,
work
yeah,
in
they
the-
might do that. Like, she's in school. She actually is in
Yeah.
school.
but it's the same thing. Like, a cubicle is a glorified desk in the classroom. Like,
Also,
it's an ideology and institution trying to program you to fit into their paradigm.
Dr. Midnight is a portable computer.
See,
You mean like an iPhone?
Well, yeah, it's on her eyes. It's a portable computer. So
Dr.
you
Midnight.
guys talk shit about Batwoman. Come on now.
I mean, I talk shit about that too.
Wait, wait.
Yeah, but it's not nearly as silly.
I don't know, man. The rats eating and then the rats poisoned, like, that's pretty silly. Like the bats eating the rats, like,
I don't know.
yeah, it's.
Rodents fight all the time.
But they like with the eyes because of the rats, like.
Lawrence,
Or
do you
bats.
not know Dr. Midnight?
I will admit, taking like fear toxin as a drug is a little silly. Like, I don't know why anyone would do that.
Give you that edge,
That's the
Jay.
least silly thing about that show.
Give you that edge.
Like people take drugs for the stupidest reasons, and that's what you have a problem with.
It's fear toxin. Like,
You know what's silly is that this private contractor police force looks like the dude guarding the Shake Shack.
I mean, you realize people take hallucinogenic drugs that are going to make you see shit that you're going to be afraid of. Like, that's not a new
Yeah,
concept.
they face you.
yeah, but there you have like a 50-50 chance. Like, you might see something you're scared of, but you might see like a unicorn. Like with the fear
That you're
toxin, you're
scared
gonna see some scary shit.
That's funny because I remember a unicorn on The Magicians, and that was some scary shit.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh look, a unicorn!" It's okay. And then it like starts goring people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it was the first thing that came to mind, but I know unicorns are
Yeah,
violent.
I know what you mean, but look, people do get high for stupid reasons.
It's true. People
Not
do get
stupid
high for
reasons.
stupid reasons.
Well, obviously it makes you feel good while you're high, I guess.
Like he supposes. He
More
supposes.
importantly, we're ignoring the fact that Lawrence doesn't know who Dr. Midnight is, which is
I know who
strange
Dr.
because
Midnight
he
is.
can't see either.
Why
Like,
don't
I
know
thought
who-
Lawrence was all about the guys who have eye problems.
Why don't I know who
Or
Dr.
eye visors.
Oh Lord. Whatever.
You were asking me who the hell is Dr. Midnight just a second ago.
When did I say that?
When I said Dr. Midnight was a portable computer,
I was asking you about him being a portable computer, not about who he is.
in Stargirl. Did you not? You didn't see Stargirl, did you?
I look. I'm just like, why is the port? Look, I saw some of it. I guess I didn't watch all of it. It's
Did you
2
see an
seasons
episode
now, right?
where Dr. Midnight showed up?
I don't remember, Oz. Like,
Oh,
you're
did you see the
like, I'm the president of the fan club here. Like, why do I need to remember the show?
Why are you watching Stargirl and not Batwoman?
No. You know what? It's my
Pretty
mistake.
much equally. Like I gave Stargirl a chance. I gave Batwoman a chance. They both aren't good shows. I don't
You know
need to
what?
watch any more of
You know
them.
what?
Or remember them.
It's my fault. It's my mistake. I forgot that Dr. Midnight is played by a woman of color. So of course he lost interest before she showed up.
In Larry's defense, like, why isn't Dr. Midnight like the comics?
Look, that's a whole nother discussion.
Like, that's the thing. It's like you expect him to believe. You expect him to be okay.
In this show.
You think it's okay that he doesn't know that it's a computer or this and that, and it's like, if you know the comics, it shouldn't be any of that.
And that's what the
okay.
question I had. I was like, why Dr. Midnight
it just bugs me that we watched this show for our show.
Yeah, we watched one episode.
Oh,
I watched more than one episode.
Yeah, but look, you're. I don't know what your problem is. I don't know what your dad did to you.
I watched.
He left.
I watched more than one episode of Batwoman.
Yeah. You would rather watch that, but you don't do no horror movie reaction.
I don't like watching horror movies.
Look, but you don't like watching Stargirl, but you watch that.
Listen, I'd rather watch Stargirl than a horror movie, even a good one.
Next story.
Like I'm saying, this stuff's scary. So we got some more details about the milestone returns, and so it looks like that they're going to do a like milestone returns alpha type thing first, and then spin the books out of that. Which they did announce that it was coming at DC Fandom, but the only thing that I know for me where I'm like a little like, oh, that's I was a little disappointed is that it's all gonna be through DC Infinite.
Sweet.
And so it's all like it's gonna be digital first.
Well, we have it. We just don't pay for it.
Oh, good.
So we have a login for the whole show. That's in the pre-production text when I told you guys we have this. We just need to decide if we want it so we can pay for it. Like, it's ready to go, but nobody told me if we should do it or not.
Apparently we should do it. Like, I could fuck with some milestone.
I'm actually I'm working on DC Infinite content for the channel right now as we speak. So I subcontracted somebody else out because I didn't know if we were going to pay for it or not.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
And then also, like, say again?
I don't know we had funds like that, but okay. We got
well, that's why I asked you, because we don't. It takes 4 of us to pay the $8 So that's why I'm asking you, motherfuckers. Nobody answers the fucking question.
That's my bad. I apologize.
Honestly, I just assumed DC Infinite would go away, like the rest of DC.
Well, no, that's the
thing.
I agree with Lawrence. It is his bad. What are we looking at? Firecrotch?
Yes, you're looking at Firecrotch.
His hot hands.
I mean, his red hair on his head.
Hot streaks.
If the drapes match the curtains, or however the kids say it these days.
He was in the cartoon.
Yeah,
I remember him. Although he looks a lot cooler here.
Yeah. No, the redesign is nice.
His art style.
Is this is the book with the dumbest Static Shock thing I've ever seen.
This is the dumbest Static Shock that you've ever
You showed us those images of the new Static Shock. Yeah, that's terrible. I hate that. I hate that his hoodie's a helmet.
I don't think it's nearly as bad as you do. Like it's actually, I think, kind of cool redesign.
Like I feel like I seen that jacket at Old Navy in 1998 and 99
with the helmet hood.
Yeah, like it was formed like a helmet. Like it wouldn't fit like a hoodie would. It would fit like a helmet would.
Like if his hand wasn't glowing like that, I'd be like, oh, there's a new speedster.
Really? So you wouldn't look at that and think that that was Static Shock?
Not if his hand wasn't glowing like that. No, even with his hand glowing, like if you just showed me that image, I don't think I would say, oh, look, Static Shock.
See, I feel like that looks more like Static Shock than like Zack Snyder's Dark Side looks like Dark Side.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like this design.
Now, what don't you like about it, Jay?
Something about the pants.
Oh, well, they are skinny jeans or something, right?
Well, they're like fitness pants. Like
Not even skinny jeans because they only get tight on the ankles.
yeah, because they're like workout pants.
Mm.
Like I have a set of pants like that are Adidas for the gym.
See, and I don't have a problem with actually any other part of the costume because it looks like something. It looks like something an inner city kid could pull together. It's just the helmet hoodie that bugs me. I can't.
I think you're putting too much thought into the helmet hoodie. It just maybe they drew it with too much bulk, but if it was floppy, you wouldn't have. Even with the visor, you wouldn't have an issue.
If it was floppy, I'd feel a whole lot better about it. Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't look. It doesn't look to me like a helmet as much as it's just formed
like a puffy. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like I don't think that's supposed to be
I'm
like.
telling you, I had that jacket from Old Navy. I got it for Christmas one year, and it was gray and orange. Why are you laughing?
It's the way you're saying it. Like
I had it.
No, I'm not saying you didn't have it, Mo. I just don't know why you want us to believe it or know it so hard. I don't why does it matter?
Because I'm trying to tell Oz like that it's a normal look. It's not that.
But it didn't have a helmet, did it? Was the hood like hard and unmovable?
It like the way it wasn't hard and unmovable, but the way it rested on your back was in shape like that. Like the form stayed. It was stiff, but it wasn't.
You had some powerful starts, my friend.
Old Navy did. I didn't do nothing to it. That's just how it came. It wasn't for snowboarding. It was.
I couldn't afford Old Navy at that age, so I don't know.
Oh my god, I love you guys, man.
No, you don't. You hate us.
No, I do.
Look,
I do.
Are you done with the milestones?
Well, I'll just say that Milestone Returns Infinite Edition. It's actually going to be a one shot, and then the series will spin out of that basically, starting with Static, which is going to be in April. Then they're going to do Icon and Rocket, and then they'll do Hardware.
Wait, Icon and Rocket is like a duo book?
I mean, yeah, it's going to be them together. I mean, isn't Icon and Rocket are usually together though, right?
Yeah, but it's time for her to like move out and be on her own.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, Jay. Technically, we don't know how much time has passed.
When IDW buys Milestone, like I'll make sure they do that.
But they're going to be 6-issue miniseries, and they'll come out digitally, and eventually they'll get print runs as well. But it's interesting. Like this is the kind of thing too, where in talking about. Oh, jeez.
Wow.
I'm breaking stuff.
He is heavy, and I didn't know how drunk he was.
Okay. It one of the things like in talking about the DC fan buyout and their publishing arm, the print books have gained traction over the last year. Apparently the digital side has not. And so that's another one of these things where I'm kind of like a little disappointed by the decision, just because I don't want they're saying they're going to do a print run later still, but I don't want it to be a thing where people try to say like, oh, well, those books underperformed. And next thing you know, they're like, we're not sure if there's a place for Milestone Returns anymore, when it's like, if you had to put it out physically, maybe these books would thrive, So we'll see.
I don't think that's going to be an issue.
I mean, I'm just telling you what they were saying numbers wise. They're like there's no spike in digital sales or in digital reading over the course of this whole time that we've been shut in, apparently. but people were buying more print books. So I'm just like, yeah. But I hope you're right.
That's because they couldn't go get a haircut and then they could still go to the comic shop.
I don't know what that means.
They didn't close them like the same as they did other shops.
They didn't know the comic book shops were open.
Okay. Last week, the news came while we were on the show, and a lot's happened. But friggin' Gina Carano, man, what do y'all want to like? So somebody talk about this. Lay out the history a little bit for the people in case people don't know.
A little bit before the second season of The Mandalorian, she was saying some transphobic shit, and nobody gave a fuck. And then all of a sudden, she mentions Nazis, and it goes all bad. So,
I don't think it's as much the Nazi
like,
mention as it is the Jewish people mention.
I guess, yeah, I get it. Look,
she basically said the way Jewish people were treated was bad. We're against that now.
No, that's not the context.
That wasn't what she was trying to say.
She did say that Jewish people were treated badly, but that she also said that Republicans in modern day America are treated as if just as bad as Jewish people were in Nazi Germany.
It's a false equivalency.
Huh?
I said, if only that were true, that would be awesome.
We don't condone that at all.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Like that is like we don't condone that at all.
Those are those of the talent, not of Four Douches Productions.
Hear me out.
Nope, I don't want to hear you.
A bunch of Republicans in the gas chambers to be killed.
No.
Like,
again, Four Douches Productions does not condone that.
Look, if you do that, it would be Three Douches Productions.
I'm not saying we go vigilante style, but like if we could get the government on board.
No.
Jay's wants us to get fired from Mandalorian next. Apparently, yeah. I don't even know. We're not even on the show yet. Goddamn.
They want us because we look like a bunch of crappy aliens. Like we sit in the background, no makeup.
But no, man, it's like it's and
I'm mad about it because who am I going to beat off to now in the Mandalorian?
Baby Yoda, like you were doing before?
No, I wasn't doing that.
He's 50.
Ashoka.
No. Like,
she's getting her own show,
but it's not the same. Gina Carano had it all. She kicked ass. She was pretty, and she was good on screen. Character was tight.
What's homegirl from the princess?
Like, how about we just talk about what Gina Carano didn't do? How do you all feel about the fact that she was fired in the first place? Like, is that something that should have happened?
I just told you that.
Saying stupid shit like Republicans are being treated like Jews were in Nazi Germany, then I think it's okay to fire her. Like, if that's what she said, I think that's okay to fire her.
That's not exactly what she said.
Read the quote, Oz.
That's one of the issues I've been having with coming to a judgment on this. I haven't gone out to do the research, so I don't know exactly what she said. What she
was pointing out was that in the Nazi Germany times, the Jewish people were
Read the quote.
I don't have the internet to pull it up.
Okay, I'll get it.
What I can't tell you is that this whole firing of people over sensitive issues, like you're hiring them to be actors. They always tell people, look, here's the thing. When George Clooney says, "Oh, I don't like Trump," they're like, "Oh, George Clooney, you need to just be an actor and don't tell us what you think. I don't pay to see movies about what you think." But then when Gina Carano says, it's like, "Oh, they're canceling Gina Carano," like, and it's like, why can't you tell
did George Clooney get fired for what he said?
No, but the thing is,
that's the difference.
No, it's not a difference. They're both actors, and depending on the bullshit you feel like believing, you support one and fire the other. And that's the bullshit. That's the bullshit I'm getting at. They're both fucking idiots, period, that are good on screen, and you pay them to play pretend. If you don't want them to say stupid shit, write it in their contract and fire them when they say stupid shit. And I think that's what happened with Gina Carano, because Star-Lord is another Republican dude, and he don't say no stupid shit. He shuts the fuck up. I'm gonna be Star-Lord. Whenever I get to come back, I'm gonna be Star-Lord.
But here's the thing, though. Like, you can't make that equivalency only because there's nothing wrong with saying that guy right there, I don't like him. He's a douche. Like, even if it is the president of the United States, I understand that it might be wiser to, like, keep your opinion to yourself just for your own, your own career-wise. But there's nothing wrong with that on its face. You can say you don't like somebody. That's a whole completely different thing than trying to equate the pain of a marginalized group to the pain of another group that's not actually being marginalized. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Republicans are, being treated the best they've ever been treated in modern day America, but they're not being like subjugated. They're not being
Pedro Pascal's doing the same thing.
What does
They're
that mean?
being put in gas chambers. That's the issue.
What is
Pedro Pascal is been making the same Nazi Jewish comparison.
Pedro Pascal said that migrant workers that are actually like being subjugated is similar to the subjugation of Jewish people. Like, those are people that are actually being mistreated.
Oh, migrant workers are being gas chambered?
No, but what I'm saying, but look, they're
Pedro Pascal is posting pictures saying this is America today, posting pictures of from Pakistan in 2010. Talking about this is America.
But I guess what I'm saying is
dishonest.
But what I'm saying is you can understand that there are people that are actually being mistreated. Republicans aren't being mistreated in any way that makes it seem like they're not being like. Well, I mean, I'm trying to think what the right word is, but they're not being.
Does her job description require her to have some form of critical and cognitive function?
I don't know what. Wait, what?
I don't think so.
I mean, yeah.
Well, memorize the lines.
Yeah, but she's playing pretend.
But the fact, either way it goes, it's like Pedro Pascal is actually taking two groups of people that actually are getting something done to them. What's happening to the Republicans right now?
It's the whole
They're getting fired whenever they say racist, homophobic, transphobic shit.
Right? Like, what? Okay, and that should be okay, right? Or should it not be? Like,
it should be. It's like, it's so funny.
Well, the thing is, it's your job. Like, is it against your job's rules to say stupid shit on Twitter?
What job? What? No, but not stupid stuff on Twitter, because you can say some stupid.
Well, and that's the thing. Here's the thing. It's whatever fits what you feel, and that's okay that it's like that.
The big.
And I'm not talking about what you feel, Larry. I'm talking about what Disney feels.
The big arcing picture, the big overall picture that Lawrence doesn't seem to understand is that we're in a point in time where you start with the statement, "It's okay to punch a Nazi." Fine.
No, but it's not okay to punch a Nazi.
I'm talking. We all look. Two other guys on the show say it's okay to punch a Nazi, and then in the next statement, and you may not think it's okay. Fine, that's great on you. But we live in a society, as was said earlier, where that statement is said as it's accepted. It's okay to punch a Nazi, followed by all Republicans are Nazis.
Listen,
so that's where
you can say that, but if you punch somebody, you go to jail. Like, and that's the thing where it's like,
depends on what your judge's political leanings are.
I mean, I guess that's true, right?
That's the thing, and because of all these little weird things that we're doing, we're getting into these more comfort and feeling based reactions as opposed to a rule of actual
But here's the
rules
thing,
and
though.
regulations.
I don't want it
Can
to
we-
make it. I guess what I'm trying to say is this: is don't get me wrong. I understand that there are some judgment calls that get made on some of these things, but the reality of the situation is these aren't like, oh man, we don't know what we can and can't say. People know what they can and can't say. Like all you have to do is like there's certain groups that we've all kind of decided are protected. We all know who those groups are.
Larry-
We no wait, listen, look, we all know who the groups are. Some of people are like, well, that group shouldn't be protected, and that's fine. You feel like they shouldn't be, but they are. And all you have to do is not say anything about those people.
Can we at least send the people that attacked the Capitol to gas chambers?
Right.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
Why not?
After a fair trial, but sure.
yeah, due process.
No. Why even kill them for what?
Well,
Vandalism?
if they're,
Because they attacked their Capitol.
and they killed a couple police officers.
Well, no, I mean the ones that killed people.
Right.
Well, actually, I'm not a death penalty guy, so I don't feel like
Yeah.
anybody should be
Yeah,
killed.
pussy.
I'm totally look. If you're an adult that can make your own decisions, and you do something that stupid, then
Like technically, they're all there for treason, and I think the Constitution still says treason is a penalty by death.
Yeah,
thing.
look, Lawrence. Even I'm getting behind these two on that.
Yeah,
I mean, hey, you could listen.
like half of
Capitol
those
guys, yeah.
friends.
If you're not going to hold the president responsible for anything, then I'm not going to definitely not gonna condone killing people because they messed around and
You're
broke
holding
windows.
the president responsible for saying protest peacefully.
No, he
Yeah,
said that's
the part. That's the part I'm holding responsible.
fight hard
for,
and fight like hell.
because that was his
Like,
main message
If,
and everything
if you're,
he said.
if you're gonna go after
was-
anybody that says fight hard and fight like hell, then half of Congress is gone.
No, but listen,
And
man,
that's another problem too. Half of these fuckers were okay with it.
exactly.
Yeah,
And that's
so
the thing,
we need
where
to
it's
hold
like-
them accountable too.
I'm not going
We
to
should
hold
all
regular
of them
people.
accountable. Oz.
I'm not going to hold regular people to a higher standard than we're going to hold our government officials. So I'm just saying, I can't get behind like ridiculously harsh punishments for all these.
I just
people.
want a good
Like-
Ice Earth album after all this.
Ice Earth is no more.
We just have a drummer.
So
I'll
should
be honest, I only kind of like their covers. I never got into their music.
look retribution through the ages, Jay.
That album itself, like that framing Armageddon, like that concept is.
So good. But yeah, man.
Oh, we
like,
hate
so,
him. He's a
so
piece
Gina-
of shit for yeah.
Hey man, he made bad decisions. You know, he made good music. I can
That shirt
separate
I
the
have,
two.
that shirt I've had of his says "Stop being a pussy," but now he's gonna be a pussy for somebody.
so Oz, you don't feel like she should have gotten fired?
Not for that, but they've been wanting to fire her for months. They just like, yeah. And I said this last week. I mean, they were already pressuring the artists to take her off posters and like.
Mhm.
I saw this coming. I knew they were
Yeah,
gonna fire her.
and see, and this is what I'm talking about right there. When you're like, I saw this coming. It'd be one thing if people were stumbling into stuff, and that's how everybody tries to pretend it. Like, man, I didn't. How can you even know that this stuff was going to happen?
Anybody
It's
who didn't see it coming wasn't paying attention.
Well, we
And-
talked
and-
about it. We
but-
actually talked about it when she
and-
did the transphobic things.
But see, and that's the thing, but though, just going right back real quick, Oz, it's like the same way how you're like, oh, you want to hold the president for hand for da. It's like if you didn't see it coming, you weren't paying attention. It's like this is why this is incitement. So that's all I'm saying. It's like, dude, we all know what it is you're not supposed to do. Some people still want to dance on that line, and then when they get in trouble for it, they're like, oh man, I'm being persecuted. And it's like, dude, you're not. You're being an asshole, and you know it. And you made that choice. So just,
Speaking as an
deal with this.
asshole myself, an asshole of the highest order, being an asshole comes with consequences.
Right?
And that actually lowers your asshole meter a little bit. The fact that you can accept consequences,
Absolutely.
but that's part of it. Like,
I respect anybody that's like, oh, I will do what I do and take what comes. It's like that's how
I
you
know at
feel.
any given moment I probably would get punched in the face. At
Tiger
work.
Claw in chat says the thing is, if you work for a company, you cannot express any of your own opinions because it reflects on the company you work for, even if you say it doesn't.
It depends on the
Anything
contract.
you say that comes across as sounding negative can make the company look bad.
See, and companies used to have. I don't know what Gina Carano's contract looked like, but they used to have like morality clauses.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming she didn't have one because that would have been brought up at some point.
I think she had one.
Of course she
I
had one.
think
You Disney.
Disney has one, and that's the same reason why Star-Lord doesn't say anything. He doesn't post about he's voting or anything.
And
the same reason.
And that's the question. Like the question we really need to be asking is why wasn't the you know what? I'll leave that be. We can move on to the next one. No. But I guess for me, I was just like, why did it take this particular statement before the move was made?
I know
what
why.
were they waiting for? And it's like, again, it's kind of like, okay, like it's so crazy to me because it's like as many times as people get fired when they say something about Jewish people or the Holocaust, you would think people would be like, okay, well, I'm gonna dance on this minefield, but I know I can't go over to that section because that's you everybody that goes dances in that section gets blown up. They still choose to dance there, which is like, dude, like what's wrong with y'all?
She found a new job though, real quick.
Well, yeah, look, with Ben Shapiro's production company, right? Yeah. Which I'll tell you, I'm a fan of Ben Shapiro.
Star of the Mandalorian.
Ben Shapiro is like my favorite way to endure white privilege. Like, yeah, absolutely, without a question. Yeah. Like every so often, he'll have a salient point, and I'm like, okay, I don't agree with almost anything he ever says, but
the thing is, it's hard to agree to everything he says, but the president's fucking up when Ben Shapiro's like, Trump's fucking up.
Yeah.
He's as harsh a critic as we can be, even being a supporter. And it's like, I have to be harsh because I'm a supporter. Mm-hmm. Like, he needs to be doing shit right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Speaking of predators. Marvel is doing a branding thing. They have video. They have covers, alternate covers coming of Spider-Woman, Miles Morales, Valkyries. What's the other one? Guardians of the Galaxy. And they're all Predator branded because they're celebrating that Predator is coming to Marvel.
I'm a little upset you didn't do that segue when we had Joss Whedon up.
I was trying to, but Larry kept cutting me off. So that's they're gonna they do that. They did that with Alien, so it was no surprise they're doing it with this. Half of these actually, like, I want to see Predator versus Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, I think that would fit. Fantastic Four I think could fit. I don't think a fight between the Fantastic Four and a Predator would be all that interesting. I don't see why a Predator wouldn't want to hunt the Fantastic Four, but somebody like a Kraven or something would be kind of cool. Miles Morales Spider-Man maybe, but regular Spider-Man maybe. Like that's a Kraven story. Like, yeah, so it's I've seen that, but I think if they run into a Predator and they start hunting the Predator and he turns the tables, I'd be good with the Guardians. One of those spacefaring, and that's where I think the Fantastic Four would fit in. But these are all just covers, so
yeah, exactly. And I
just piqued my mind, but yeah, it's like I would like to see some of that.
I don't feel like these are as done as well as the Alien ones were, and I don't know if that has to do with just who they chose artist wise, or there's a lot of different artists.
I think the Alien design just lends itself to that, like, creeping in the background, which makes for good covers.
That could be. I could see that.
The with Predator, it has to be more action because if he's creeping in the background, you can't see him. He just looks like a Jello mold that's clear, like a Jello at a birthday party. That's just.
Tiger Claw in chat says, with the Predator coming to Marvel Comics, do you think they're going to tone down the violence and gore?
Nah.
I don't think Predator's actually coming to Marvel Comics.
No, it is. Like, this is.
They'll make comic books, but okay.
But it's not in Marvel Universe. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So they'll make. They do.
No, they
You
won't.
saw it. I was worried with the Star Wars stuff, but you saw it with Star Wars. Like they make Star Wars books. They're branded Marvel, but they're Star Wars books, and they're not part of the universe. But they're Marvel. They're Marvel Star Wars books, but they're Star Wars books, and they'll give you their story with their branding. They're branding the Marvel thing, little red and white, doesn't necessarily mean universe anymore. So it works. I think they'll make it work, and I don't think they need to. They know the people that want to buy it want to see that. So
Right.
I don't think they're going to tone down at all. Because even with Star Wars, like Star Wars is never like a gory thing, but it was a violent thing with the people being shot and sliced in half, and they could have easily toned down on that and just give you stories that didn't have that, but they didn't. They use that lightsaber slice, or the burn. They actually show more burn marks from the laser guns than the movies do. Yeah.
Yep. Speaking of which, Marvel did go ahead and release some news about the next Star Wars comics crossover, and it is going to be the War of the Bounty Hunters, and it's going to center around Boba Fett. And so this is another kind of series that's going to have a bookend kind of thing first. Then it's going to have like preludes that go through the comic book itself, and then after that, that go through the Star Wars comics themselves, I should say. So right now, that's Star Wars, Darth Vader, Dr. Aphra. There's one other book. I can't remember what it is off the top, but they have like 4 or 5 actually Star Wars comics that they're publishing regularly, and then they're actually going to have a War of the Bounty Hunters miniseries as well.
I never got the Boba Fett thing.
Like why people like him so much?
Yeah, well, after the original trilogy, like him and Mandalorian, like it's badass. But after the original trilogy, like I never, he doesn't do much. He gets taken out like a chump. I mean, literally, it's a slapstick, like guy like bumps into him, and it's more of a joke the way he gets taken out.
But he doesn't get taken out.
He does in the original trilogy. It wasn't until like decades later that they started doing stories of him surviving to start like.
Yeah, but the thing is, he is a cool motherfucker. He's the man with no name, but with a name. Like
he had a name.
No, that's what I'm saying. But he's the strong silent type. Like he's everything we like, and it's the reason. He's the reason the Mandalorian TV show came out good, because it's like the shit we wish we would have got from when we saw Boba Fett back in the day.
I'm glad people liked them. I just never got it.
I mean,
until the later books about how him surviving, and obviously in the Mandalorian, complete badass, even with the tiny baby armor on.
Boba Fett is what happens when, like, if they had done like Wolverine right,
yeah,
get like Boba Fett, where it's like less is more sometimes. And don't get me wrong, like Marvel and Disney, or I guess I should say that Disney and Lucasfilm are gonna have to, tread a fine line here. Like I know they're gonna give us that book of Boba Fett, but you don't want to overexpose this dude. Like you give too much Boba Fett, all of a sudden it's gonna lose all his luster.
And that's the thing. Like if they just concentrate on from moving forward from here on, instead of trying to give us backstory, because he's your dude. He's your strong silent type. He's your your dude in High Noon. He's your Gary Cooper, your Clint Eastwood, like, and that's your Wolverine too. Like don't give him. Have his backstory be shrouded in mystery. And Wolverine, they did it so well because it's like you didn't know what was real, what was. You just had and you could just play with that all around, and it just adds to his coolness. The moment you give him an origin, dude.
Yeah,
I think that show is going to be like from now on. I don't.
Yeah,
yeah, it is.
they might show some childhood stuff, but I hope not.
But they don't need to. We don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, we got that in Attack of the Clones. We're done with that.
Yeah, we got enough.
So the War of the Bounty Hunter book is actually, ironically enough, taking place between episode 5 and 6, and so it's basically like him transporting Han Solo and Carbonite to Jabba's palace. So it's that's basically what
that bugs me too. I'm trying to get away from that era.
Why?
Because it's been done to death. I'm tired of the Skywalkers. Mandalorian was cool because there was no Skywalker in it, and then they ruined that.
Okay, well, hey, that's fair. That's fair. The last story I have is WonderCon. WonderCon's gonna be or they officially announced that they're not going to be the in-person WonderCon event, which I think we all knew. But, they officially announced it, and they said WonderCon at Home is going to be happening in March. And it's going to be 2 days as opposed to the usual 3, because they say they're marshaling all their resources for San Diego Comic-Con this summer, which I'm hoping that means that they're marshaling all their virtual resources.
I hope not.
Because Lord,
I'm going to Comic-Con this year.
Oh, dude, do any of you want to go to Comic-Con in person?
I do. I have a ticket.
I'm down.
My God,
I have
really.
I just flew to an island somewhere in the northern hemisphere to go to a virtual party right before the show.
Lawrence, I have a portable broadcast studio for 4 people ready to go.
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm not saying I don't want that to happen. I'm not even saying that I don't want you to come out and us to broadcast from somewhere. I don't want any of us to go to Comic-Con this year. Like, dude, you think like this joint's not going to be all sorted by July?
I just hope
But it's really never going to be sorted, Larry.
No, that's not true. Like
it's
COVID-19 will be a thing of the past at some point.
In 100 years.
I'm not
yearly. Yeah.
Like, I'll be okay, I think.
Why do you think you'll be okay?
Because I'm almost vaccinated.
Yeah, but that South African thing doesn't work with the vaccine.
Yeah, but I don't know that, so I'll be fine.
Like, you'll know it come July.
Listen, I don't understand it. Like, I'm just saying, like, we think, like, if you're all like, oh, it's never going to go away, I hear where you're coming from with that, but there's a difference in degree between, like, even how things are right now, especially if you're talking about California, how things are today is a completely different thing than how it was a few months ago. And
right, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about
July.
3 months from now, 4 months.
What I'm trying to say
Trump
is
said it was
what I'm trying to say
by
is
the spring. He meant spring 2021.
What I'm trying to say is that Comic-Con time is right around the time that we might just almost be back to normal, but not quite.
Look, according to Biden, we're not going to be normal till February of next year, 2022.
Okay, and you mess around and decide to have an international event with hundreds of thousands of people from all over the world. That's how you mess around and make this joint back to right square one. Like, all of a sudden, all these people, like all these cases, like like what's a bigger super spreader event than COVID, than friggin' Comic-Con? Like,
what if
what
if I'm vaccinated? What if I'm vaccinated? Can I go?
You can still transmit it. You
can still carry it.
Yeah.
Even if you're vaccinated.
Now if you're vaccinated, that's the thing. If you're vaccinated, you can't carry it.
I don't know if that's true.
No, you just won't die from
vaccine.
No, it's not.
No, your body doesn't produce the virus.
I don't.
That's
know.
the vaccine does. Is it makes it so your body doesn't produce.
That's what a vaccine's supposed to do, but this one isn't built from it. It's just gene therapy. It's just not going to make you die from it.
I'm not going to die from it now.
Hey, listen.
That's a gamble. Like,
look,
all I'm saying is,
look,
is that we don't die. So
right.
if we go and not die, we should go, right?
But what if you come back and give it to somebody and they die?
I don't want to give it to anybody that I like.
In chat,
He's like, only my enemies says.
in chat, Black Combat says you can still carry the virus and infect others if you're vaccinated. Yeah, that's the whole thing about this vaccine. It's you just won't die from it. That's really it.
I'm just saying, there's nothing wrong with Comic-Con 2022. Right?
Let's do Comic-Con 2021, and then when we get back, we'll have a planet reunion party. Yeah.
Joe's gonna tongue down all his enemies.
Ford Douche Productions has not condoned that type of behavior. Joe, we will not fire you because we haven't ironed out that contract, but please refrain from suggesting those type of behaviors.
Whatever. I'm going to Comic-Con this weekend.
Which Comic-Con you going to this weekend?
QuadCon.
LawnCon.
Yeah, look that up on the.
Yeah.
No, QuadCon.
LawnCon.
Look that shit up. I'm gonna take video, and hopefully there's enough to like do a segment on the show.
Is that a QAnon meeting?
No, I'm not allowed to tape those.
Oh, jeez, man.
Plus,
I love how they
think of the hood.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This wasn't in our pre-production thing, but Warner Media and HBO Max have made a bunch of announcements lately, including but not limited to. They've got a whole bunch of new new adult animated shows coming very soon. They got 2 seasons of Close Enough ordered, 2 seasons of Clone High, not sure about Gandhi, and they're also doing a Velma series, which is like a prequel with her in school tracking down a serial killer. And Batman, the animated series, is coming back as part of their adult animated block.
Like old episodes?
Yeah, they're
New
not
episodes of the animated series.
new ones.
Yeah, new ones.
With the original cast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Everybody is on board.
there's a comic book that continues the animated series.
This will be after that.
Okay.
I don't know, but I hope.
No,
I hope
no.
it doesn't-
You sold it. Let's just go with it. Just go with it, man. You
Hopefully
already
they're
sold
listening.
it. Don't go
Hopefully
back
they're
on it.
listening.
Honestly, the most interesting thing to me about that, though, is that it's part of their adult block.
Yeah.
So it's going to be allowed to go as dark as they want it to.
Look, I
And
think
so if Bruce Timm is involved, like, it's not going to get crazy and like be unrecognizable, but being able for them to do what they would like to do is going to be interesting to watch.
which we kind of got a glimpse of that with that Batman and Harley Quinn cartoon movie, right?
Right.
Because that was in that universe and everything, and
That
even
was
the
a continuation too.
yeah, and the Killing Joke was that too, right?
No.
No,
Killing Joke was its own thing. The Fatal Five was part of that.
okay.
Yeah, those were two the main ones. Justice League, Fatal Five, and Batman and Harley Quinn.
The Velma has garnered some controversy on Twitter. People are mad that Mindy Kaling is in it.
What did she do?
She's the voice of Velma.
No, I know that. Like, what did
Oh.
she do that people don't like?
She did a show called The Mindy Project, which was like, I guess female empowerment. I don't know. Like it just
I heard it was,
to me,
but I never watched it.
it was
Just don't
like
like her politics. That it was like
I think
female.
that's really. I think that she's brown and they don't like her politics and she's female. The show itself, it had its moments. Like having an NBA guy telling her, "You forgot your pashmina," was hilarious. I'm still laughing. when just hearing a guy say Pashmina. I didn't know what a Pashmina was.
I
And
don't know
seeing a
what that
big
is.
black guy yell out Pashmina, like you're forgetting your Pashmina, like panicking that she left her Pashmina. It was hilarious to me.
What is
And that it's still burned in my brain. I relive that moment about 3 times a week since that episode aired of the Mindy Project. So the show had its moments, and like all good, like all shows, it's not all great, but it does some good stuff. But yeah, and they some dude, like some guy tried
Is she
talking shit to
writing
her, and then
this stuff?
I'm sorry, say it again. Oz?
Is she writing this stuff?
The Velma stuff. I don't know if
Because
she's writing the Velma stuff.
Yeah, she is.
She is okay.
Yeah, she's writing, star, producer, but she's not the only writer.
Okay.
I can't
because
remember.
that makes a little bit more. That makes a little bit more sense if people hated the Mindy Project, which she also wrote it, and her writing this stuff. I can kind of see that, but her just doing the voice of the character, I don't have a problem with.
Here's the moment I'm trying to build up to. On Twitter, some guy started talking shit to her that she's on the Velma thing, and he put a gif of The Office where Michael Scott like screams and says no, and it's from the episode of The Office that she wrote. So and that's the thing. Like this guy went and searched for that reaction for her, and she created that moment that guy felt the need to go search, and she's working on Velma, the thing he doesn't like. Yeah. So
That's funny.
yeah.
Velma
is
I have a good feeling about it. Like,
My thing is that people fire or quit or feel like quitting or get pressured to quitting for playing different races, and she's a different race playing a different race, and nobody's saying anything.
Detailing. Do of Velma, like she was playing Velma action thing, then okay, we can have a discussion on that. Just like how they're trying to ruin Constantine. Segue.
Wait, what were you gonna say, Jay?
what? I
What
thought
were
I
you
said
gonna say
it
before?
already.
Say what?
I thought I said it already.
Oh, I don't think we heard it. It's
We'll
okay.
get back to it later.
Okay.
Demo freeze or is it just me?
One more announcement from Warner Media. Infinity Train Book 4 is coming. There's a trailer out. Yeah, I couldn't be happier. Like, this is amazing. This was what all the tweeting was for.
I'm glad they listened to you, Joe. I'm glad they listened to you. They gotta listen to one of us.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Not in a pre-production, but did you guys? I mean, I just tried to segue into the Constantine story. Anybody care?
Honestly, I'm not watching Constantine, so I'm not sure if that's me.
Is there Constantine on right now?
They want to do a Constantine TV show, and they want to make Constantine the actor they want to hire to play Constantine is. They describe they want Aziz Ansari, like not necessarily Aziz Ansari, but somebody that looks like Aziz Ansari.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. Like I keep saying, I mean, Constantine was created to look like Sting, and Sting looks a certain way. Mm-hmm. He does not look like Aziz Ansari.
Right.
And even if you put blonde hair on the motherfucker, he's still not gonna be Constantine to me. And then they're trying to move away from the more religious aspects of Constantine and try to make it more horror based, which I can kind of understand. But you know what? Some of the best horror stories have a little bit of that religion stuff in it.
So like they don't want to make Constantine, but they're gonna make it anyway.
It's like they want to make Doctor Strange and call him Constantine. and starring Aziz Ansari.
Yeah, I don't. No, I don't. I'm not interested.
I can't be too mad at, because look, DC has been screwing up the character for years. Like they're trying to make him a Doctor Strange. They're trying to make him a wizard, along with Zatanna. When
If they want a wizard show, they should do the Dresden Files.
he's a paranormal investigator, like he needs to be demon hunting, like Supernatural is like Dean Winchester is a better Constantine than the Constantines I've seen in the comics lately.
In the comics or the TV iterations?
Both. As much as I like Matt Ryan's depiction of
Yeah, like I feel like he's a good Constantine. I mean, don't get me wrong.
He's good the way he portrays the character, but he's also like
It's a little watered down.
It's goofy. Yeah, it's goofy. He's a magician, not like a demon fighter. Like if you did a movie with that Constantine, it would be like a bad Doctor Strange movie, where it should be more of an Exorcist type of movie.
Okay.
Like as much as I hate Keanu Reeves as Constantine, because he still doesn't look like Sting. That opening sequence is amazing. That's a Constantine movie. Is that opening sequence in that movie? And to be honest, a lot of parts of that movie I felt were true to the character. Really, it's just, Keanu Reeves bugged the hell out.
Yeah. Interesting.
So we're gonna get a TV show. We're gonna get a TV show called Constantine that's not gonna have Constantine in it.
I feel like Constantine is the kind of character where a lot of the things that Constantine does, a brown person couldn't get away with.
It's not even that. It's just the character was created specifically with Sting in mind.
Yeah, look, I'm with you on that. I'm with you 100% in the fact that I want my characters to look like the characters. And I have evolved at least to the point where I'm like, that doesn't necessarily mean they have to be the same race as the character, but I can't imagine anyone that's an Aziz Ansari type is gonna transform into a Constantine-esque kind of archetype. Like that's not gonna happen.
Right.
It's too far of a stretch physically.
It's not even a race thing because Keanu Reeves is white, and I don't like his Constantine.
Yeah, no, he's not good as Constantine.
He wasn't even blonde.
Nah, yeah, exactly, and that's important. I agree.
It bugs me when they don't show Constantine smoking.
I agree with you on that too. It's like I understand it's not in vogue, but yeah, totally. Like Constantine needs to smoke. He leads that kind of lifestyle.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that show. Obviously, I'm gonna watch it because I have to.
What's it gonna come on HBO Max?
HBO Max, yeah. And it's just
Max,
like
I'll check it out, but I'm not looking forward to it.
Yeah, look, that's how I feel about Batwoman, and yet me and you are caught up. So, I mean, what can I say?
Yeah.
All right, what else you got?
Also, I don't think you have to get it for me anymore. I've been watching it on the CW app.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Which reminds me, Resident Alien. I'm guessing they're putting all the episodes on YouTube because I've seen.
That's much more convenient than.
I've seen episode 2 pop up already in Sci-Fi's like official channel. I haven't seen episode 3 yet, but it just like my algorithm might be all messed up. If I search it, I'm sure I can find it. So they seem to be like a week behind, but you can still catch Resident Alien. It's Sci-Fi. Sci-Fi is not even like a premium channel. What else we got? We're talking about this movie.
Yeah, I think it's about that time. Even though
I think we're past due on that time, but
like what look, I don't. I guess you're not gonna be able to get the theme without Moses, huh?
What is it? The movie?
Yeah. Theater.
You guys got to load it onto our director's board.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I have it loaded onto a laptop that I can plug
No,
in, but
don't worry about it.
I don't prepare that.
We'll be okay. We'll do it in post. We'll do it. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute.
I heard a beep. Do I hear when people pop on now? Oh no, your lights are gone. Are you in a brownout?
I'm in a man. I like this angle, but I don't
like this at all.
What happened, Mo?
Oh, don't put the mic down there. That's making it weird.
Huh?
That red rocket.
I wish you hadn't said that.
Yeah. There we go. Sorry, my power went out.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh, you're in Texas?
I did.
No, he said you're in Texas.
My bad. Too soon.
Yeah. So I'll probably.
You
I'll
ever
get-
got to see It's Never Too Soon
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's never too soon.
before he got fired?
Gilbert Gottfried did that.
Yeah.
Oh. Gotcha.
Yeah, but people were still dying when he made that joke.
Sheesh.
It was a funny joke. I agree. It's just like there is too soon, I think.
Sheesh. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and talk about Wolfwalkers.
Wait,
Yeah.
does Mo have the music?
I'm assuming no.
Yeah, I do actually. Thanks.
Shut up, Mo. You got the
Yeah.
music?
Yeah, I've been planning for shit like this before, so yeah, you should be able to hear it.
Comic book theater. Comic book theater.
What is chunk chunk? I'm sorry, I just like saying that.
No, because I
It's
have
not
a
in
setup-
that.
I know it's not in the thing. I don't care. I just like saying it. No, we heard it. Thank you, Moses. That's awesome.
Yeah, I have a setup for when I have to do it through the phone, so my soundboard goes directly into the phone and it can work on LTE. It is gonna get choppy, but I think I'll be back to the other camera in 30 seconds or so. So go ahead, start. I'm gonna
need
stop
that.
my camera
I need to
and
cut that part of 2-Day going chum chum and just play that randomly.
yeah.
What
Go ahead,
is chunk
start the
chunk?
movie review. Start the movie review.
I think Joe
Okay.
should start because it's Joe's thing. Go ahead.
Wolfwalkers is part 3 in the Irish lore trilogy by Cartoon Saloon. It's about a girl whose father is a hunter. They move to the city, and they're tasked with hunting the wolves out in the forest. And when Robin follows her dad into the forest, she runs into a wolf and gets bitten, and she ends up with the ability to become a wolf when she sleeps. She ends up going into the forest and befriending the wolf that bit her, and the two become fast friends, and they have to try to figure out how to live and be friends with the ongoing encroachment of the city into the forest. I think that about covers it. Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That absolutely sounds right. That's good stuff. So, we all got the chance to check it out. Oz, what was your take on Wolfwalkers?
I didn't understand the part where it went chum chum.
Chung chung.
I liked it. It's an Apple TV original, and I think if if for whatever reason in the news you don't want to support Disney, it's another great, I want to call it kids classic, because when you actually when I suggested watching this with the wife, and she kind of looked it up real quick, she said she thought it looked like a child's movie, and I get that the way, just looking at previews of it and things like that. But when you actually watch it, it's not really a child's movie, even though I think children would get a lot of enjoy. It's for everybody, I guess, is what I'm saying. The art style, it's how do I describe it? Classical. It looks like a kid's book. I mean, the backgrounds are kind of like a painted. The characters aren't they aren't drawn like a traditional cartoon. They look like, every image looks like it could be in a storybook, which, I mean, it's kind of a fairy tale, sort of. I think you can learn some life lessons. I think people are sleeping on it, because I hadn't heard of this until you guys mentioned it. And this movie could easily be a classic, in the same vein as like Disney. Sorry, Mo was doing Kirby hands. like in the tradition of, classic Disney, Snow White, Cinderella, all that. I think this would fit perfectly in there. It's a good story. You learn some lessons. It's targeted for kids, but it works for adults. It's fun. And not usually when you say works for adults, it means there's like some jokes in it like that are kind of dirty, but only adults get it. It's not even that. It's just it just works all around. I don't know how to explain it, really.
All ages.
Maybe a movie. Period.
Yeah, it's a good story. It's well animated. I don't know. Maybe you guys can describe it better.
For me, it is a it hits on a lot of things that I like. The Christian expansion of Europe and the destruction of the pagan and the nature, which is something that I feel is today, and they kind of echo that in that sentiment of how Ireland was taken over by the British. And but it's really about the nature, getting rid of nature and expanding the human race, for better or worse, homogenizing it, but still subjugating it. Yeah, finding a different way, a different reason to separate everybody. And but then it's the story of this father and this daughter that are put in this situation, and then they have to deal with this new environment, feeling like they don't belong, but they have to, and doing what it takes, and the fear that the father has to protect his daughter and give her a semblance of family after their own tragedy, and then her finding a family, and then him becoming part. I can tell you about 6 different instances where I cried like a little bitch in this. Because it's fucking,
they should put that on the back of the box.
Yeah, because it's really like, it just there's feeling in it, and I think the style of art in it plays to that, because it feels tangible. They create it's a flat 2D thing, but through color saturation and architecture and layering of images, they create dimension, and they put so much thought visually to create dimension, but emotionally through the characters, they create so much dimension too. And it's like, fuck, it is great. Like it has a Golden Globe nomination for Best Animated Feature, and they're like everybody's like, this is going to be the Oscar winner this year for Best Animated Feature. So I know Joe got to see, he was invited to a press release, a press conference about this right at the eve of it getting the nomination. Is that right, Joe? Like, it had just gotten the nomination. why don't you tell us a little bit about what happened there, man? What was that all about?
So yeah, basically, they had a virtual press conference. They gave everybody screeners, which I'll be honest, the screener was kind of fun to me because you get your own personal watermark.
Yeah.
Just to make sure you don't like pass it out. Like if you do, then you have your name like as the watermark.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
Wait, so there's a version with your name on it?
Yes.
That's sweet.
I would have preferred the FF logo.
Was it Jay?
No, they have my real name.
Oh,
Yeah, you gotta give your ID and shit.
Right.
Oh, your
Well,
government.
look, we've made it to this level, Larry.
Did they put your middle name in it there too, Jay, or did you not disclose
No, they don't know that. They didn't know that. But they did let me be Jay for the actual press conference.
Okay.
In school. But yeah, it was really interesting. And one of the things I was most interested in was the art style. If you're watching this, you'll see a lot of the line work, especially with the wolves. You can see like the shapes and everything. It's not a very clean style. It's a very, like, you can see like a lot of the line work in the drawings.
Yeah,
and I asked him about that, like why they went with that, and as opposed to like a cleaner style. And basically what he's told me is that they revel in the fact that it's traditional animation. Traditional, and they do modern things, but when they can, they do like hardcore 2D animation, and they want it to look like 2D animation. And he brought up like a couple of old classic Disney films, like Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty, where if you're watching it, you actually can see the line work. And they just wanted to take that, like that was part of what they were doing by leaving some of the line work in. It's their love letter to 2D animation. And I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, a lot of the animation, like this movie looks like what another movie flashback, or when they like tell the backstory and do like not as good animation would look like.
You mean like a backstory in like a movie?
Yeah, like if you're watching a movie and then that's 3D Pixar whatever, and then they start telling a history of something, and it goes into like this older style 2D animation. That's what this movie felt like.
You know what it felt like to me? It felt like when you buy those books, the art of Monsters Inc. or the art of Toy Story, where you see these art pieces of like the paintings they did to kind of create this 3D world. But it all starts with a pencil and paper. And then like Joe said, the love letter to that style. And this is it, man. Because even like the motion, like when Maeve just jumps, like all you see is just the hair flowing. And in some instances, the I'm a stickler for the frame rate. Like I like stuff to look fluid with it. I've been spoiled by anime. Yeah, they know exactly where to cut to make it look fluid, even though it's staccato, for lack of a better word. But in this one they did that, but then when it needed to be fluid, it was so fluid. And then when the story took over, it just everything. It felt like almost like an acid trip. Like you just feel everything that the characters are going through. You're like in it. Like it's so crazy. And it took me about 4 hours to watch it because I watched half. Then I had to go do what I did with my dogs and then looking at my dogs, the little ridges on the design of the wolves. My dog has that because he's a husky, so it looks like a wolf. And it's like just seeing the personality, even in the wolf drones, if you would call them that, like the way they change with the communication of the Wolfwalkers. And they could look cute, they could look vicious, they do what they got to do. And seeing my dogs after seeing that movie and then going back to them, it just I see that artistry in that design. the design of the town. When you talk about the art design of this film, it's, man, like they designed a cage for people, and it's like we're in cages. We're already in cages. Like that fight of the pagans versus the civilized. We're in a society. We got to be civilized. We talked about earlier with the Joker, but it's like, yeah, these motherfuckers are in a cage, in a big cage, and it's the Irish people. It's the British put them in a cage, and then they're trying to do, and the historical aspect. I know they chose not to talk about Cromwell, but that was Cromwell's thing when he led the charge in Ireland to make all the wolves extinct. And it put me into this rabbit hole of like, there's actual history of when like the last wolf and the second to last wolf was killed in Ireland, because it was just such a big massacre. And it just, somebody that's kind of following that here with the mountain lions here in the West Coast and the wolves in the US, and trying to do my part to conserve that, because we need that. Like this virus is this virus we're all dealing with right now is part of that. These predator animals that are getting wiped out take a lot of these animals. They eat the animals that carry this virus to make sure we don't get it. And now we're seeing this, and this movie, as awesome as it was, is also a reminder that there's worse to come.
That was Moses' takeaway.
Yeah,
because
like, we don't learn.
Was so good. It reminded me how terrible we're one day away from it all falling apart.
We don't learn. We don't learn, Larry. We don't learn. Humans don't learn, and that's
why we're not wolves.
The dad had to learn the hard way. Mm-hmm. The Cromwell guy refused to learn. Like he just stuck to his faith and cut his belt and just went to his death. He'd rather die than to compromise and live and become one, respect the nature that he's trying to be a part of. Mm-hmm. And that's the analog for us now. We got to start, that's a whole other show.
There it is, right? Mo's about to say, wear your mask, double mask, thanks.
Look, wear your mask and wash your hands and stay away from people. Like that's it. Like I've come close.
Go to Comic-Con 2021.
Yeah.
So listen. I will say that I think you all did masterful jobs of expressing yourselves and talking about this movie. I think you all hit all the major points. I mean, at the end of the day, like I'm not gonna talk a lot just because a lot of it, like you all said a lot of the things that I felt, but artistically it's a joy to watch. From a story perspective, it's gonna tug at your heartstrings, and like it's captivating in multiple ways and multiple points throughout this movie. It's no surprise that this movie has been nominated and won all these awards, because it's a joy to watch. And like Oz said, you can watch it with your entire family. Everyone's gonna enjoy it on different levels. And but more to Oz's point, there's gonna be one fundamental level that everyone's gonna enjoy it on, and that's awesome, because that's not something you can say about everything. And so, I think, it's an amazing flick. It deserves, it's getting recognition. Obviously it came out in 2020. And so that means in America, some people have seen it, some people haven't, but it deserves much wider recognition in America than it's received thus far. Because like Oz said, it was a sleeper. As far I hadn't heard of it at all.
Yeah, if I wasn't part of this show, I don't know if I ever would have heard of it.
Exactly. And so
I had heard of it, and I remember seeing the trailer like a week before it released, because I have Apple TV Plus.
Right. Because it came out on Apple TV like December, right?
Mm-hmm. And something like that. And I remember seeing the trailer, and I was like, "Man, this looks amazing!" And it just, you get lost in so much stuff, especially with Apple TV Plus, because it's
a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff, and the thing is, they mix in other like Showtime and all this stuff that they have. And it's like if Apple TV Plus was like a Netflix, like they would put it, they would make sure you like everybody saw Tiger King because Netflix wanted you to see Tiger King.
Right.
Apple TV Plus should have wanted you to see this.
Yeah.
I have Apple TV Plus also, and I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'll say about this that I don't think anybody else has said up until this point is that, like, I couldn't help but watch this and in my mind think like, well, not at first, but after a certain point to think like, dude, like this seems like the indie video game of the year.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like it feels 100% like the best indie video game you've ever played. Like you know, like one of those damn Ori and the friggin' Blind Forest, friggin', you know,
Two Brothers.
Yeah, right.
Like, to me, it felt like Two Brothers, like at the same feeling I got with just seeing the environments and even the way the story played out. For me, it's like Two Brothers.
Yeah.
Fable 2.
Yeah, like, any of those like indie games that just has that atmosphere. It's like, and I feel like the art style that it has right there is exactly what you would see in the game. Like when Mo was talking about the motion of Maeve and her, like, you know, all you see is hair moving. It's like I was like watching this movie and I want to play that.
Yeah,
like, you know, I want to play that. I want to be able to like put my little hand up and it turn into like that little friggin' spectral wolf paw.
You want to be
the power.
I get it. I get it. You want to be a 12-year-old girl.
We all want to be 12-year-old girls.
But no, man, it's an amazing flick,
especially if they have wolf powers.
But not around Joss Whedon though.
if you're watching this, do yourself a favor and figure out if you have Apple TV Plus, it's a no-brainer. You know, watch Wolfwalkers.
A lot of people have it because I got it free because I bought a new phone.
There you go.
So a lot of people are getting it.
If you have it, watch Wolfwalkers. If you don't have it, figure out what the next best way to purchase or whatever. Like, you're gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be good. You're not gonna be mad at yourself for spending whatever money you spent on watching this film because it's great. But you know,
it's a new classic. Look, if you have kids and on your shelf you have any Disney classic, this will go right next to those.
And it's one of those things too, where, you know, I'm really happy that you said what you said, Jay, in regards to the press conference, because that was another thing I remember thinking while I was watching this joint is I was like, man, like it feels like I was trying to think like what was the last like animated, like 2D animated feature film that I saw in theaters, and I was like, man, I think it might have been like Princess and the Frog, maybe. And I'm like, dang, that was like, I don't know how many years ago that was, but it's a number of years. Like, it feels
that was a while ago.
Yeah, like, because I'm like, a lot of the animated stuff that comes to theaters that are like, you know, considered like major motion pictures. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that there aren't people releasing movies like this in theaters, because I know this movie got released in theaters and probably would have been released in theaters, you know, with that if it wasn't COVID. But the theatrical release,
a very limited release
in the U.S. I'm just talking about the U.S. I know that it did get released in other countries. I do know that. Like, I think the UK. Huh?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't remember if it got released in the U.S. in theaters.
You didn't watch any of the Dragon Ball Z stuff in theater?
I did actually watch. I did watch one of them in a theater.
Okay. But that would probably be the latest, because those are more recent than Princess.
You're right. I did see one of that. So that is probably and even that though is still like a few years ago. And I will say that And on top of that, like the sad fact of the matter is, I didn't enjoy that movie as much as I would have hoped. Like it wasn't bad. It
The
just,
Dragon Ball, right? Not
yeah, the Dragon Ball. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the Dragon Ball. Yeah, but it's just like it feels like all of the movies that come to theaters that are like the major motion pictures, animated wise, are 3D. And there's nothing wrong with 3D movies, but Lord knows it's like traditional animation is fantastic still. And in my mind, like there's so many movies that in my mind I wish would just do a 2D animated release as opposed to, you know, trying to do some CG stuff, because some
even
stuff
a
is
lot
not
of
meant-
even a lot of the traditional 2D stuff is done in 3D now. Like The Simpsons has been 3D animated for years.
Yeah. Well, and one of the examples I wanted to use for this was South Park, where
Yeah.
South Park felt tangible at the
Mhm.
beginning, and then they managed to kind of retain some of that, but they do it with computers now.
Right.
And here it's like you really feel like the roughness of the paper on
Right.
even in high def. Like I watched it on my phone a little bit, and I watched it on my big TV, and you still feel the same no matter what size of screen. And
Yeah.
that you can't say that about like your like Simpsons or fuck, even old Star Trek episodes aren't the same on your phone as they are on your TV.
Yeah.
But this one does, because it's done on paper. Like it's made to look that way.
And again, not everything is 2D. Like there is some 3D in there, but
Yeah.
they do a really good job of blending it
Yeah.
to make everything look like it's all together.
Right. Yeah, very cohesive. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put my rating out there right off the top. This is 5 out of 5 for me. I loved it a lot, and you know, I was pleasantly surprised, just because, you know, when I went in, I didn't know what I was gonna watch, and I was like, oh, like between, you know, the adventure story and the Irish folklore and the storybook 2D animation, I was just like, man, it's great all around. So like from beginning to end, love it a lot. 5 out of 5 for me. What do you say, Oz?
Well, you know, they had some problems with the way. No, I can't find it. I've been railing against how redheads have been treated in popular media. So yeah, 5 out of 5.
There it is.
I want to find faults with it. Can't really.
That's fair. What about you, Moses?
I wouldn't say it was a fault, but that scene where the little musical number with the song, I don't know. Who sings that song in the movie?
I don't remember her name.
Aurora?
Well, Emily actually has the song, like she's a fan of the song.
Aurora?
Yeah, she'll tell me right now. But for me, in my head, I was listening to Ozzy Osbourne's "Bark at the Moon."
you know you like that Wolf song.
No,
you know you like Running with the Wolves.
It actually it really goes with the movie well.
It does.
But it's like, you know, from listening, you know, watching this movie and then hearing metal bands talk about some of these themes. It's like, this is perfect for metal, but you know, not everything has to be metal. But you know, Wolves in the Throne Room, named after something like this, you know. And Bark at the Moon, so it's like, yeah, for me it's like this, but you know, it's not just for me, it's for everybody. And that song is actually a really good song. The singer, if it's who I think it is, she does a really good rendition of Space Oddity, David Bowie's Space Oddity. And but yeah, it was, I wasn't even expecting a musical number in it, but it just played so well with the animation. So like all this to say, it's a 5 out of fucking 5. 6 out of 5. Like
building on that, because you didn't expect a musical. This is a kids movie. I expected it to be a musical like classic Disney, and you only get like 2 songs.
Yeah. and they're both done well, and it's it's a great fucking movie.
Subculture girl in chat says Aurora.
Yeah.
Oh man, I wish
I also did talk to the composer during the press conference.
Oh yeah,
and it was actually pretty interesting hearing him like talk about his process. Like, there's like an Irish band he worked with when coming up with all the music, and that was pretty interesting. Just hearing his process and like him talking about like doing the score for this, and really interesting.
the score was really good because it didn't overpower and it added to the emotion of what was happening. It's probably one of the best crafted animated films I've seen in a long fucking time.
And Jay, what would you rate it?
I would give it a 5 out of 5. I loved it. I love the animation. I love the characters. I love the artwork. I even love the end credits where they they show the characters even more line art.
Yeah.
That was awesome to me. And there's just nothing wrong with this movie. Like, I love it.
The only thing wrong with this movie is more people aren't watching it.
There it is.
Now, can I ask you guys a question?
Yes.
This is the third in this Irish Lore trilogy. Do you have any interest in watching the other two movies?
Yeah, I would like to, but I'm afraid because I'm like, it can't be as good as this, right? Like,
if they're anything like that, even if it's just the same style, I'm down.
I feel like look, we're messing around and on a road to disappointment, fellas. Like, this is because this is the last one in the trilogy. That's the messed up part. Like, if this was like the middle one, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll go watch the first one and then watch the next one. But I was like, man, they messed around and made all their mistakes on the first two. They didn't make no mistakes on this one.
Hold on. Jay, have you seen the other two?
I have not. Like,
okay,
weird. Like, I bought the first one.
I need you
watching it.
I need you to watch those first two, and you tell us how it compares to this last one.
On our YouTube channel, where you subscribe and hit the bell, you get a one shot.
Oh, this is the point where we point in different directions, like we don't know what's happening.
The other question I have, because I had a question too, but it was
I didn't get to answer Joe's question.
Oh, go ahead.
I without a doubt, I'm down. I want to see those because, the Irish got the same deal the Mayans did. The Europeans spread and gave you Jesus and took your nature away. And, you got Wolfwalkers in Ireland and you have the Balaam in the Mayans. And it's a similar concept, but it's the guardians of the forest, and we're jaguars in the Yucatan Peninsula. And wolves in Ireland, and we all ended up with the red, white, and green flag, and we all ended up super Catholic and like to drink. So there's a kinship with, and even in the Mexican Revolution, we had a lot of Irish people come and help us. That's the only allies we had were people from Ireland. So they celebrate St. Patrick's Day in Mexico differently because it's for their Irish compatriots that helped them. Yeah.
My family got screwed over twice. my name traces back to Gaelic. So there was an Irish family at one point that's like, well, we're not going to America because Irish people are getting screwed over there. We're going to go to Mexico, and then, well,
I don't think it's Gaelic because it was like Irish. I think they were just being homophobic.
That's what it is.
I don't get it. My last name is Gaelic.
Right, man. I was the gay fish.
My last name literally translates to drunk guy. All right, I feel like we're off the rails now.
All right. All right. Well, it's time to get out of here. Let's go ahead and do some final thoughts. Of course. Give us some final thoughts, man.
Next week, I may or may not have footage of a small town Comic Con.
Okay.
I'll film stuff. I just don't know if it's any good. If it'll be any good.
Do it.
Even if it's bad, that might
I'll
be
do
better.
it. It's just like I might have like 5 seconds of usable footage. We're all wearing masks. I don't know if any of the sound will come
Like,
through.
do a good intro, a good reaction, and then just film the fast B-roll.
I agree with everything you said, except for I'm not 100% sure on the part where you said good.
I think it'll be good.
Moses Magnum. Final thoughts.
Cy Spencer died today. Cy Spencer was a dude from the British comic invasion, 2000 AD, Judge Dredd, all that. But I know him from Hellblazer, and it's sad that he died. It happens.
Wait, did he really die?
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
At like 53.
Yeah, I don't know
I
the
thought
details.
you were joking.
No, I don't joke about these things, Larry.
Because it was right after the Constantine story.
Right, and that was like everything they use for Constantine in new media is Cy Spencer's influence, and you don't know who Cy Spencer is.
No, I literally like I was put the Constantine story, and then you put R.I.P. Cy Spencer, and I was like, because they're messing Constantine up, Cy Spencer's like,
No,
but I didn't realize you were meant like he actually died today. That's so
it's a pre-production. It's a pre-production text for a reason. He puts in that story. I put in that so that when we actually do the story, I can go into a mobituary.
Oh, but you weren't here when we did it.
No, I was. Yeah, I was.
Yeah, I did not realize that. I thought.
Yeah, but that's why I'm doing it now. Like,
yeah. I'm just sad now because I didn't realize. I thought you were making a joke.
I don't joke about comic people dying.
I'll joke. So not true.
Rush Limbaugh died. I'll joke about him dying. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, I'm dead.
Like you would literally would joke about Stanley dying like every other week,
but not after he died.
Yeah, but I didn't know you. I thought you were still. Never mind. I'm done.
Like I joked about Stan Lee being old and should have died like by normal circumstances. But when he died, I cried on the air.
No, I'm not saying you didn't feel it when he actually did die. I'm just saying that you don't understand why it is that I didn't realize that you weren't telling a joke. And you're saying, why would I joke? He actually died, but you didn't tell me he actually died. You just said R.I.P. Cy Spencer.
I mean, I got what he was saying.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man.
But we were activating Wonder Dick powers.
Oh, my God. Please, Jay, final thoughts.
Go watch the first 3 books of Infinity Train. It'll get you ready for book 4.
It's true.
Yes, reading the first 3 books would prepare you for the 4th one. I agree.
It's true. For the entire Fantastic Forum, thank you all.
You need to watch it too.
Yeah.
I already watched Infinity War.
Oh,
No, not Infinity War. Infinity Train.
Infinity Train. It's a TV show.
No.
Yeah.
How dare you?
It's on
He
HBO.
said yes.
You gotta watch it.
How many times?
Is it anything like the Rick and Morty Infinity Train episode?
No, it's actually good.
Oh, how dare you both? Jesus. Both, like,
Infinity Train.
listen,
Is
I'm shutting this show down. We're definitely off the rails now. Thank you for tuning in to Fantastic Forum. We'll be back next week. Like, subscribe, friggin' make comments, hit notifications, friggin' flip us, smack it up, rub it down. Oh no. We'll be back next week.
I'll watch Snowpiercer.
Also, don't put people in the gas chambers. I was just joking.
case by case basis.